What's happening, y'all, and welcome. This is episode 113 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. I am your host, Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. T Money, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNIC. And I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mara, the Shark Watkins.
Hello there.
How you doing tonight, Mara?
I'm alrighties.
Cool.
Still in lockdown, you know.
Yeah. I'm feeling better this week, you know. I'm not like feeling like shit after a hangover, you know. That's good, you know. I didn't consume, 3/4 of a liter of tequila the night before, you know. So.
Well, that's good.
I'm all right. I'm good today.
You know, that's all we want. For you to be okay.
Is it though?
I guess not.
Oh, you don't know? I don't know either. Shit, I don't know what y'all want. What do y'all want? What do you want from me, Mara?
Are you asking me what I want from you, or are you asking me what we all want from you?
Is that two different things?
I think so.
All right, well, let's start with you then. What do you want from me, Mara?
I don't know.
Oh, well, that was a useless segue then. What the fuck?
I don't know. I want to start the show.
Why would you even bring that up then? Why would you separate if you didn't have an answer?
Because I wanted to be clear on what you were asking.
You're fired. Moving on.
Wow. I can't speak for everyone, but I also don't know what I want from you specifically.
So you had anyway no answer for either one then, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I don't know why you bothered fucking asking me.
But you could have just said, I don't know. But you felt the need. Here. But you felt the need to separate them. Yet you had no answer for either one. But you still felt the need to separate it.
Yes, because maybe I could have tried ballparking for everyone, but I don't want to speak for everyone.
But you didn't, Mara.
I didn't know what I was going to do yet. I wanted to see how you were going to answer it first. I didn't realize you'd ask me for both. So,
But you didn't have an answer for either one.
I know. I normally don't have an answer for that question at all. It's like the food question. I'm not apologizing for that.
I'm not asking you for an apology because that's useless to me too.
I get used to it.
Whatever. That's what wine is for. Moving on. Because we're here to talk about the Arrowverse. You know, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, used to be Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, all them. You know, that's what we're here for. Soon to be Stargirl in a couple of weeks, which still is just like, fuck you.
Why you gotta keep bringing that up?
Because it's still coming and it's a thing, and I need the people to know that it's coming so they know what we're talking about when we talk about that show.
Because I just kind of feel like I keep trying to forget that kind of negativity, and I feel like you just keep
Well, see, here's the problem. The sad thing about this is I've actually heard good things about that first episode.
I believe that on every level and every fiber of my being.
It's just like I've heard that it's actually good, so it's just like, fuck, I want people to see it, and I want to talk about it. I just know I'm going to be so tired and not want to do it, but we're going to do it anyway. Because you know what? We are dedicated. Right?
Yes.
All right, then. Sit there like that. Don't give me that look. All right?
I'm not giving you a look.
Oh, you're giving me a look right now.
I'm not giving you a look.
You are. Whether intentional or unintentional, you are giving me a look right now. So, yeah.
Yep.
Moving on. See what kind of show this is going to be today. We fighting all show. I'm for it. I'm with it.
Oh,
anyway.
Man. I don't want to fight, though.
Too late. It's a thing now. We are fighting this whole episode.
I don't want to fight, though. I doubt we'll be fighting this episode, but whatever.
Probably not, but I wanted to say that. Don't ruin the mystique, all right?
Okay, all right, fine. Fuck it. Jesus Christ. Sorry. No.
Yeah, I just got you to fight with me just then when you didn't want to.
See what you do? Got me over here taking the Lord's name in vain and stuff like that. Jeez.
You know.
I still want chance. I still want a chance, Travis.
You know the whole taking the Lord's name in vain doesn't mean what people think it means?
I'm sure it doesn't. I don't really want the philosophy lesson right now.
I mean, just saying what you just did wasn't actually taking the Lord's name in vain, so you're good. That's all I was saying.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's
still
all.
Feel weird saying them together in the same sentence.
I mean, I hear you. I'm just saying what you did wasn't a problem. It is not against one of the 10 Commandments.
I'm sure it's not.
Just like tithing doesn't mean what people think it means either. You just, it's whatever.
It's not asking for money.
Yeah, it's like it's not giving 10% of your money to the church. I'm not getting into this. It's not a religion podcast. Just know the things that you think you know, you're wrong because you didn't actually read the Bible. Moving on. Which one of these shows do y'all want to talk about first? We got Flash, we got Legends, and we got Batwoman this week. Where do you want to start?
I'm kind of, what's funny? I kind of was a little thrown that there was Batwoman but no Supergirl. It's not that I needed it. It's weird because I got so used to them always being on together. It's, maybe the rest of the on, but only them two come on. And then so it's like for only Batwoman and no girl, like, but I'm not complaining.
Mar? Oh shit.
Am I back?
Now you're back. Just know that whole thing that you were saying right there, you were cutting in and out. So yeah.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
We kind of heard you. It had something to do with the fact you was something about Batwoman being on and Supergirl not being on.
It just throws me that they're not on together. It was one but not the other. Now I'm not complaining though. It threw me, but in a good way. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and remember everything I just said 5 seconds ago.
That kind of just lets me know that everything you said was unnecessary. Moving on. So which one did you want to start with? Yep. Continuation. Watch behind the scenes. You might know what I'm talking about right there. We had a whole talk about this, but it's okay, Mara. I love you too. Where do you want to start?
You're going to pick me up from the airport and we're going to throw hands.
That's fine. I'm okay with it. Listen, I've been ready to fight you since 2014, all right? It's cool. It's cool. I am down. Let's do that shit. Over half a decade I've been waiting to fight your ass. I am good with that, all right?
Batwoman.
All right. Batwoman.
It needed to be that loud. And I hope everyone's headphones were on loud.
The best part about that was you cut out while you were doing it, so it didn't even come across as loud at all. It just kind of so no one heard you. Like when you tried to be loud like that, it just didn't work. I think Zoom has a thing built in where you get too loud, it cuts you out.
Wow.
I think.
Can you kind of just cut out when I said I hope everyone's headphones were out?
No, I'm leaving all that in there. I don't do that anymore. I don't go in and cut shit out unless there's something significantly wrong with the episode now. I just don't have the time.
Like if someone says like the N-word, like if Matt says the N-word by accident.
That's never happened before. What are you talking about?
I know, but I know it's not, but like
even if it has happened before, I would never admit that that's ever happened before. Like it's not a thing. We're not going to say it's ever been a thing or could possibly be a thing. No, we are not going there at all. I'm going to use a different example. Mostly because Matt has this really firm stance against saying that. Like
I know.
Since we were in high school, like me, a whole bunch of other black people that he went to high school with that were on the football team with him and shit have told him, like, yo, I wouldn't be mad if you did, and he still refuses to say it.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? Because he seems just like that.
Mm-hmm. Like he refuses. Like, no, you will not get me.
Like even during like even when we were watching WrestleMania and he thought like I had disciplined Luna, he was like, that was my fault. Please tell me you didn't hit that child. And I was like, no.
I was like, no, she didn't, because she wouldn't. She's afraid to hit the baby, so it's fine. She won't do it.
Stop telling people I'm scared to hit her. I just don't want to.
You're afraid of your child. It's okay. It's okay. I won't tell
I'm
nobody.
not scared of my child.
This
I'm
is
not
just
scared of
between you
myself.
and me. We know you're afraid of your child.
And now the rest of our viewers, the rest of the world now knows, or now thinks I am scared of my
you
child.
said it already. You said the world knows. It's true. It's a thing. It's a fact. Mara is afraid of Luna. We know this. You have told the world that it's a fact now.
No, you need to edit this out because
Nope.
she's going to use this when she is like 12.
Oh, so you think when she's like 12, she's going to go back and find episode 113 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow?
The way I've been raising her, she may go back and watch the whole freaking series of us. Like, she may watch every episode of, like, she may go back, rewatch all of Arrow and Flash because she really likes the Flash. She doesn't really care for the others, but like Supergirl, Flash, and Batwoman loves. She may go back
because those shows have a lot of movement and flashy lights and shit, so that appeals to children.
The superhero aspect of it. She, like, we were watching Legends last week, and she was like, "Mom, where are the superheroes?" And I was like, "They are the superheroes." She's like, "No, Mom."
They took them all off the show. Like Firestorm, the one that had actual powers, gone. Atom, the one that like got small and did shit, gone.
The fairy godmother, gone. The Hawk and the Hawk Girl duo, gone.
What do you have now? Just some dudes.
What was Amaya? The
one that had the powers, the vixen powers, yeah, with the animals and shit. Yep, gone. Replaced it with a shapeshifter who doesn't even shapeshift anymore.
Right, and is a fate.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Because right now we're supposed to be talking about Batwoman.
I like how we segued back to the content, though.
We did. We found a way.
All right, Batwoman. This episode was called A Narrow Escape.
So this thing kicks off with we got Kate playing Mortal Kombat. And which is, it's fun because it's like, how'd they be able to do that? But like, Warner Brothers, makes sense. They can do that shit. So she's playing Mortal Kombat. What?
They own Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah, them and NetherRealm Studios and all that kind of stuff are all connected. So they kind of,
Gotcha. Subsidiaries, capitalism. It's a great thing.
So she's playing Mortal Kombat, and then Alice is there, and I'm like, this threw me off at first. But then Alice woke up, and I'm like, that's why. It's all.
You know what's crazy? Because when I saw that, I was like, I forgot Alice was locked up.
I'm watching this. I'm like, no. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't they lock her up? Did I forget something? Because it's been so long since I've seen this show. Like, what am I forgetting? What happened?
Right. It makes you think like you missed a week by accident, and then it's just like,
nope. Like, she's still locked up.
Yeah, because to me, like, it felt like I was like, this feels right.
Exactly. That's what made it so real for her too. That's the point.
It felt right. It felt so right, and then she woke up. Like, he was like, "Come back." And I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!"
It all felt right, and not only did it all feel right, it felt like the way like it would have been if they were sitting there while Kate was playing Mortal Kombat. Like it was just like, yo,
like if they hadn't locked her up, like if they
if this hadn't happened, this is how they would have been. So sad, but so necessary because she's a fucking psychopath. But turns out she's getting like shock therapy and shit because of
course.
Arkham and just wrong.
I mean, from everything we know from the DC universe, we know Arkham has a very wow, that is hitting. My drink. Arkham really does fancy shocking the shit out of people. So
now you just being very experimental with the way they treat the criminally insane, as they call them.
Yep.
Which isn't really a real term, but if you have you heard of how familiar are you with the Batman animated series from the 90s?
Bro, man, I couldn't remember anything.
Okay, I'm just saying it's not me. It's not actually just not even me making fun of your age right now. I'm just really wondering how much of it have you seen? I
don't remember. Like but remember, I think we discussed this before, like, or I've said it before, like during Multiverse or something like that. I remember Batman Beyond more than the animated series.
Okay, well, this won't mean as much to you then.
Like I remember like the Joker and stuff like that.
Okay, so there's this podcast that came out a while ago. Well, I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but they've got through all of it. But it was called the Arkham Sessions, and it was just basically a podcast host. I forgot what the dude's name was, but there's a real psychiatrist, Dr. Andrea Letamendi, and they're pretty much breaking down every episode of Batman the Animated Series from a psychological perspective, you know, and like pretty much examining each one of the villains psychologically and how they really would break down and what they would fall under and all that kind of stuff. And she just in that she told you that criminally insane is not a real term. It's mostly the whole insane thing is mostly a legal term, not actually a medical term or a psychological term.
I can see that.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to see that they use that and looking at it from that perspective after listening to that show and seeing how all the villains broke down as she saw it as a psychiatrist. And it was just fucking fascinating. Like she was saying, like actually Batman the Animated Series is what got her into psychiatry and got her to like study that and become that because she was just so fascinated with the villains and shit. But anyway, back to this show. Just saying, for those of you who haven't heard of it or listened to it, the Arkham Sessions, great podcast.
Sounds pretty dope.
It is. It's really fucking fascinating. So yeah, she's getting shock therapy. So we know none of that was real. Meanwhile, Batwoman is stopping a jewel robbery. And she was about to let the dude that she caught go.
Which I didn't understand. I was like, bitch, what?
Well, she was just like, give me this shit back and just get the fuck out of it. Because, you know, she's still going through some stuff. So she don't really want to hurt nobody. True. So she's like, yo, just go ahead and go. And, like, he tries some shit. She ends up having to knock the fuck out of him and knocks him down some stairs and, like, knocks him out. But she's still tripping about the fact that she killed Rat. She has, like, a panic attack. Like, oh, shit, don't be dead. And, like, slapping him and shaking him and shit.
Wake up. Don't you die.
Like, he's alive. All right, cool. I didn't kill him. But, she, you know, she going through some shit up on the roof.
She said, nah, nigga, you is not allowed to die right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, this is just a casualty. But then I was like, nope, because then they would try to persecute her for murder.
You prosecute?
What did I say?
You said persecute.
Aren't those the same thing?
No, they're not.
What is the difference between those two words?
Between prosecute and persecute?
Yeah.
Mara.
I'm looking it up.
Mara. And no, I'm not cutting this out either, just so you know.
I know you're not. God. Well, I know persecution has something to do with religion now.
Well, not just religion, but
or political race beliefs. So one is for their so what was I saying? So yeah, it would be prosecute.
Yeah. Two completely different things.
I didn't know. I mean, it's either way, it's someone trying to throw the book at you no matter what. But for different reasons.
There's no book involved in persecute.
It's normally rocks or guns or knives or fire or water.
Oh man, moving. So then after all her panic attacks and all that shit, we get this thing where a cop wakes up in a car and he's got a bomb strapped to his chest. And like, yo, this little tape deck, and they're like, yo, play me.
Play me. It gave me cute little Saw vibes.
Not only that, it gave me 90s vibes, bro. I'm like, yo, is that a cassette tape? Like, wait a minute. Where they do that at? They still do that?
He's not going to give him a flash drive in his car. Like, he was like, being realistic.
I mean, I hear you, but like, when have you seen somebody use a cassette tape in the last 10 years?
Only bad guys use it. I don't know. Because the only reason the way I'm thinking of it is that, yeah, it would have been easier and more modern to put like an iPod or an iPhone in his hand and just be like, hit play and hope the screen don't time out ever or the battery doesn't die. But I feel like the detonator, who is the criminal or or not the criminal, or is the supposed criminal or whatever, bomber. I feel like they're thinking like, oh, a cassette player won't fucking die before they wake up. And it's so much easier to use and set up.
That makes sense. The problem is, where the fuck did he find a cassette player in 2020, Mara?
Amazon, eBay. Someone is going to have a cassette player somewhere.
If you say so.
If in 2014 I could find a VHS and DVD player and Blu-ray player, I don't remember which one it was. I'm pretty sure you can still find a cassette player because I feel like most recorders, if you're not using a smart device, most recorders are still cassette. That's my assumption.
Recorders. What recorders are you seeing?
I don't know. I'm not looking for recorders. I have a phone.
Because they don't make them anymore because nobody uses them. That's my point.
Well, let's see. Best Buy. I'm going to Best Buy's website. Let's see.
You're making a way bigger deal out of this than I meant. I just meant it was funny that he used one.
But I was just saying, like, I understand why they used it. That's all I was saying. I just felt like you were making me defend why I could see why they would use it.
I wasn't making you defend anything. Like you brought yourself in to defend it when I just was pointing out that it was funny that he used one.
It didn't seem like you were saying it was funny. It just seemed like you were confused as to why he would ever do that.
No, I'm not confused by it at all, Mara. I just don't know. It's funny that he had one. That's all. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to fight with you on this. You started the fight on this one.
All right, stop it. And Best Buy does have a portable cassette player recorder.
Walk into a Best Buy and try to find one. All right, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, so the cop is given a choice. He can either save himself by just touching the button and disarming his bomb. But the problem is if he does that, another bomb somewhere else is going to go off and kill a whole bunch of people he don't even know.
Pretty much.
So he either saves himself or he saves all those other people. Now, let me just tell you, when the dude presses that button and disarms himself, I get it.
Oh, nah, for sure. I definitely get it.
I 100% get it. Because you know what? Everybody ain't built for that superhero life. That whole self-sacrificial life, everybody ain't built for it. In fact, most are not built for it. That's what makes the people who are built for it so special. And guess what? That man is not one of them. Guess what? I'm not one of them either. If I don't know them people, I don't give a shit. Like, what do you want from me?
That he got let go from the force, though.
Huh?
Or at least on paid leave.
Okay. He alive.
I know I'm being funny.
It's just like, to him, it's just like, all right, but I survived this shit.
Right. Like, I can go home to my family another day.
Exactly. Now, if you were to tell me the other bomb is in the house where my family is, then
I might have to blow up.
Exactly. I might just have to let it blow up then. I get it then. But like, you tell me it's in some random building with a whole bunch of people I don't know. Okay. And I don't even know if that's true. That's the whole thing. Just like, I don't even know for a fact that that's actually going to happen either. Nah.
Right. Like, how do I know, like, this really just ain't a bomb that has a stop button on it?
Exactly. So it's just.
Because if I was a serial bomber, that is exactly what I would do.
Yeah, I ain't got time to set multiple bombs.
Oh, I have the time, but I would do that. Make you think it's somewhere else, but in actuality, all you gotta do is press and just try that I won't blow you up.
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that.
And then the kicker would be, I let the timer go out on. I would make like the other end of it, like if you press the button, the house with your with a bunch of people you don't know in it, but one person you inside there will go off. and it's just like you press the button and nothing happens, or if he lets the time run out, still nothing happens, but he now shits himself.
Well, like, yeah, there's somebody you know in that room
But
or
you
in
don't
that
know
building,
who.
but you don't know who it is.
So they may be important. It could be your local bank teller.
Yeah, it could be the dude that works at the Burger King drive-thru you just went through yesterday. You don't know. It might be your son. You don't know.
Could be your mother. It might be the dude. It might be that waiter that was rude to you that one time.
Exactly. It might have been the Grubhub driver that drove around your apartment complex for 3 hours because he didn't listen to your instructions.
That was so specific.
It was. It was very specific. I had a very, very, very specific experience with my Grubhub driver who insisted that he couldn't find my building because, he just the complex was too big. I told him exactly how to get to my building. He just didn't listen. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Oh man.
So he saves himself, by the way. And that building blows up, kills a bunch of people.
Yup, and the news and the radio dragged him for it.
I'd have been okay with that.
I'd been like, I can move.
Exactly. Guess
Gotham
what?
is not the end all be all. Right.
Exactly, bro.
I'm alive and Gotham ain't shit. I'm out. I can get a job somewhere else.
Also, exactly. And also, if you really think about it, like you said, Gotham's a pretty shitty place. So, like, granted, even if I didn't save all those people, who's to say the next day some other supervillain wouldn't have killed them anyway? So,
or even better, I'd have been like, Gotham is a really shitty place. I'm just less shittier than most other people.
Exactly. I'm still less shitty than the shittiest of the shitty in this city. All right.
We've had the Joker and Scarecrow and the Riddler.
You want to come at me?
Right. You want to come at me. They killed so many people. Yeah, I blew up one building. They didn't even.
And I didn't even blow it up. I just chose not to blow myself up, and this other motherfucker blew up the building. Like, right. You got, like I said, you have the Joker, Mr. Freeze, the Riddler, Two-Face, all these motherfuckers, but you want to come at me.
You got niggas stealing faces.
Yeah. You just had Alice go on a killing spree, but you want to come at me for saving myself? Fuck you.
And fuck your mother. You always gotta throw that in there.
Yeah. Well, I say fuck you and 4 motherfuckers that look like you. But
wow.
Yeah. So that could be your mama. That could be your daddy. That could be your brother. I don't know. Fuck you and 4 motherfuckers that look like you. Anyway, we got a Batwoman impersonator just all up in Mary's clinic right now.
I was just like, bitch, what are you doing?
She's just trying to be there for the people because Kate don't want to be.
I'm sure it's not that Kate don't want to be, but I get it,
No, Kate don't want to be. She's like, I can't put that suit on because I feel like a hypocrite. She don't want to put it on. Like she said it. She was like, if I felt like a hypocrite putting the suit on. So she didn't want to put the suit on. So yeah, Batwoman ain't been out patrolling and shit. So this other person, like, I'm gonna put on the Batwoman suit and act like I'm Batwoman so people still have hope and shit out there.
Yeah, I mean, because Kate's only been Batwoman for what? It's been like what, I don't know if it's been half a year or not, but whatever.
Yeah, not very long.
I'm
and
thinking
Batman's still missing, so
Right.
I'm still waiting for Kevin Conroy to show up in like this shit instead of that alternate universe they did in Crisis. But because
now we have the face of who Bruce Wayne is. So
and she acknowledged it, so we know Batwoman. We know Bruce Wayne in the Batwoman city of Gotham is Kevin Conroy. So we need that to happen.
Yep. So it's like now that's it. That's him.
We're locked in. We are locked in. So we got Alice and Mouse inside Arkham doing group therapy. And in this group therapy, Tommy Elliott shows up. Now I know this is a while ago, so you probably don't remember who Tommy Elliott is.
Nope.
I'm sure I talked about this on the podcast at another when he was on the show. But Tommy Elliott, childhood friend of Bruce Wayne. There was a whole thing that went down.
Oh yeah,
with him
that dude. I didn't remember his name, but I was like, oh look, it's Bruce's friend.
Yeah. Tommy Elliott is his name. Also, in the comic books, he became the supervillain known as Hush.
Oh, that dude.
By the way, but problem is they twisted that up in the animated movie they put out. There's an animated movie called Batman Hush.
Yes.
And in that movie, Hush is somebody else.
No, so I'm thinking I think the dude in it's not any of the movies or the shows in Arkham Knight. I think they reference him, right? Don't they?
They reference Tommy Elliott in Arkham Knight. I remember that kinda. It's been so long since I played that though, so I don't really remember.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of the pig dude. Never mind.
Yeah, that's somebody different.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the pig dude. But the movie Hush, I am.
You should watch it because it's actually really fucking good, but it's not Tommy Elliott in that movie. They make it somebody else, which is actually pretty cool because I was expecting it to be Tommy Elliott, and I'm like the whole time like, yo, you have not established Tommy at all in this movie, and how are you gonna pull this off? And it turned out to not be him, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah, keep doing this. Okay, I'm with this. So yeah. So yeah, he makes an appearance in there in that group therapy and shit, and Kate notes that he has his little shank in his ankle and shit. Let's see. We also find out that Kate's suit is bomb-proof, the Batwoman suit, because that's important when there's bombs going on.
Mm-hmm.
We also see that she has still not told Luke that she killed Rat.
I could not get past that while I was watching, and I was just like, okay, I forgot that Luke doesn't know about that she killed Cartwright, because I was just like, when he was like,
his name is Rat.
Whatever, I'm reminding the audience as well.
Don't whatever me. You the one named him that.
Why are you picking a fight with me right now before I forget my thought?
Because I know you'll fight back.
Because I'll forget my thought. When Luke was like, her heart rate was all over the place, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. He don't know about that shit. But I also forgot why he was so invested about her finding Cartwright. Rat.
You there?
Yes.
Oh, you froze for a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was waiting for you to answer.
No, you froze. Well, I didn't hear the last part.
Oh, I was saying, I also don't remember why Luke was so invested in her finding Rat.
Oh, it's not that he's invested in her finding Rat. It's just like, it's a loose end that you haven't tied up yet. We need to go ahead and lock this in. And she's just been acting like she don't give a shit. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't remember. I was like, I don't think he has anything to do with Lucius's case. But then I was also like, I don't remember.
No, they're not connected. It was just their work in that part was unfinished, and she just was acting like it was done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we cut back to Arkham, and Alice is, fucking with Tommy Elliott, and she's like just fucking with him over and over and calling him Bruce Wayne wannabe and all that kind of shit, and gets him to stab her with his little shank so she can take it for herself. And so now she has the fucking knife. Yes. What's your
How is it that orderlies know she's obviously just been stabbed, but then don't think to be like, where's the knife?
I don't know what to tell you. I just,
I can't be the only person who noticed that.
I noticed it myself too. I'm like, how are they not going to find this knife?
Like how,
But
like right, like even like, because like say if she needs stitches, like how are they just not going to find that on her? Like
I don't know.
and how did they see it on him before? Like this shit was sticking out of his shoe. Like
Yeah, she saw it pretty easily. Like she didn't have to look very hard to find it herself.
it literally
So,
was just like yoo-hoo.
like, look at my leg, it's right here. Look at my leg. I'm shaking my leg right now for y'all who can't see me. It's fine. But like I'm like shaking my ankle, like, yo, look at my leg. Got my shank right here.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big summer blowout.
Yeah. So yeah, so now she has his knife because she got him to stab her. So now Kate's like, all right, we need to figure out what the fuck's going on. And we didn't know who's been bombing and shit. So she goes to the dude who they think was, the detonator before. Turns out the detonator was the dude's father that they thought. And
oh, George Adler.
Yeah, but he's dead, so it ain't him that's doing
George
it right
Adler
now.
Senior.
Yeah. So it turns out he was dead, so he can't be the one doing it.
Which means it can't be someone, it's not someone outside. It has to be someone on the inside, because when they were saying things like the details were never released to the public, so that means no one knows any of these details. It was like, oh, it has to be someone inside then, because how else would it be?
Almost like Big Daddy Kane told y'all this a million years ago. But hey, don't listen to him. I mean, he's a dick, so I get it. But so we got another bomb though, and it's on the black lawyer dude from the dude that got like let go and then got shot and died. So he got the fucking bomb on him now. And they're like, yo, same shit, because, Dennis says there's no heroes and all that. And they're like, we know where his is, and they want him to hear it. So we need to clear the area around him for so many miles or whatever, like a mile and a half or some shit. Is that what he said? I don't know.
A mile and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are so many people falling asleep in their cars?
I don't think he fell asleep in his car. I think he went to bed at night and he got put in his car.
Okay.
Kind of like Saw. Like they just went to bed at night and they woke up somewhere else. Like she didn't go to sleep with that fucking little dental thing on her face. She just went to sleep and woke up in that random room with the fucking thing on her face.
Could you imagine being like, damn, I just wanted to not grind my teeth at night. Now you're about to rip my face off.
Exactly. So I don't think they went to sleep in their car. They went to sleep somewhere else and got put in their car.
It wasn't until like the detonator caught up with Kane,
Big Daddy Kane.
Captain Kane, whatever.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane.
I'm not calling him that.
Why?
Because I'm not.
Why not? Why wouldn't you call him Big Daddy Kane? That's what he is.
Because I don't want to call him Big Daddy Kane.
Do you know who Big Daddy Kane is?
No, we will come back to this. Let me finish because I'm forgetting.
I need to make sure.
Oh my God.
Why don't you know who Big Daddy Kane is? He's a rapper. But move on. It doesn't
sound familiar to me.
He's a rapper from like way back when. Move on. Go
so
ahead.
Why would I remember that? I'm not my mom.
I didn't say. I didn't. You know what? Go ahead.
Yep.
I didn't say remember. I said no. But go ahead.
It feels like something would be a remember. But anywho, I didn't even think about the fact that he might be taking them from other places and putting them places until the detonator caught up with Kane. Because I was sitting here thinking like, why do people keep falling asleep in their car? So vulnerable for them to have.
So you thought these people were just going to sleep in their car, Mara?
I was like, why are you taking a nap in your car?
Now, as someone who has taken naps in his car pretty frequently before, I could say it does happen.
No, I know. I've been there. I'm just saying, like, why are so many people doing it? Why are so many people being so vulnerable to this?
Have I told you the story about when I worked at Lowe's?
No.
So when I worked at Lowe's way back when, I also had a second job at another restaurant as a valet. But I started at Lowe's at 6, and I was there till 3. And then I had another job that I valeted from 5 to 10. So I had to, wake up pretty early to be at, Lowe's at 6. So I tried to take my lunch break at Lowe's as late as possible, and I had an hour lunch break. So in my hour lunch break, I just clock out, go to my car, and I take a nap in my car. I just go in there, turn on the AC, go to sleep for an hour, then go back, and I'm good to go for the rest of the night. And they used to get mad at me for taking my lunch break so late. I'm like, why does it matter when I take my lunch break as long as I take my lunch break?
Like, it's not fitting the needs of the business, Travis.
But it does, because there's nothing happening the time I'm taking my break either. That's the thing. It's just like, they're like, you can't take your lunch break and then come back and only have an hour left. I'm like, why not? Like,
I've definitely done that before.
Like, why does it matter when I do it? It doesn't affect the business at all. Like, we need to take it. So it's like more like, but why? They couldn't give me an answer.
And they got so upset, or not like my hour lunch, but like I've definitely had it where I've had like my last 15 coincide with like my last 45 minutes of my shift. And they'd be like, well, I legally need to take that 15, so I'll take it like 30 minutes before I'm supposed to leave.
There was a guy that worked at the hotel with us who wouldn't take his lunch and would leave 30 minutes early every day because he didn't take a lunch.
People at my job do that too.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
if they get caught on the floor, like if they get caught up on the floor with the customer, and then like their lunch like bypasses for a while, because every once in a while, like especially in sales, you'll get that occasional customer that literally will not detach themselves from you, no matter what, and it will be like. So then your lunch will go by for like an hour, and then so you go to tell the leader you're taking a lunch, or like some people will just be like, they'll come back around to it like a couple hours later, be like, so I never took my lunch, so can I go home? I'd be like, y'all are bugging.
Well, that's the thing. When I'm at the hotel, I never take a lunch, but it's not because I want to go home early. It's because when I take a lunch and I sit down, I don't want to go back.
Yeah,
and it's just, and I eat them, feel so sluggish when I get back, especially when you're a valet and you got to like run all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'd rather just work all the way through. So I just pound my way through it, and then I just flop on the couch and fall asleep when I get home, because it's easier that way. Anyway.
Now I get that.
Back to this, because we were talking about this before we went on about the people falling asleep in their cars.
I was gonna say, I don't know how we got here.
We were talking about people falling asleep in their car. So we find out that Mary's clinic is within the area of, the 1.5 miles that like could downstairs be where the bomb is. Yeah. But she won't leave her patients. And
I get it, but
yeah. But she was like, I'm not leaving them. But she was like, there's a way to try to she didn't do it stupidly. It's like, we can protect them and protect ourselves. It's gonna hurt, but we can, make it happen. And of course, fake Batwoman comes back to help. And then like using mattresses and all that kind of stuff to kind of like cover themselves, because, it's
concrete hurts.
Yeah. And it makes sense because they're in a building that, like, of course, is not known enough to where like they would bomb that particular building, so it's safe enough. But at the same time, you don't know how close the bombing will be and all that. So
right, or that, and I feel like the building wasn't as actively used enough that people were checking.
Oh yeah, things aren't all up to code, So the bomb goes off. Turns out it's like a building like right next door or some shit, and so it all goes kind of bad. But everybody's okay. Kate shows up to try to help before it all goes down, but the bomb goes off, and in that she's like panicking and all that, but then Mary comes out and lets her know that she knows that she's Batwoman. Like, yo, I don't have time to bullshit with you right now. People need you. Get your Batwoman big panties on and do your shit.
Right, because Kate was just like, yo, who is this? And she's like, obviously, Kate, she's Batwoman. And I was like, Mary, this is not the time to be fucking snippy.
But yeah, then after that, she lets her know, like, I know that you're Batwoman. So
right, because I was really getting tired of the passive aggressive, like,
Yeah, that was annoying too, even if it's been so long since we've seen it, because it has been a while. But at the same time, it's just like, yo, I'm tired of it. So
I was prepared for a whole episode of it, and I was just like, oh, thank you, God, Mary, for saying something, because honestly, I was tired of your shit too.
Very tired of it. So then Mary gives Kate a pep talk. Like I said, get your shit together and go do your Batwoman thing. Are you done? You done now? Okay.
Oh yeah, when she was talking about all the things that Kate has done for her in the back, like, I was like, yo, because like, they don't really talk about like their
when they were
growing
kids
up.
and all that, yeah, how she did
Yeah.
everything she did for him. Like, you did this for me when I was in this grade and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, that was precious.
Right, because it's like I don't like, because I don't know, they don't show flashbacks from like when Catherine and Jacob started getting together and all that stuff. So it's like you don't see the interaction between Mary and Kate as they were growing up. I've only seen, Kate and Jacob, or Kate and Kate and Alice, or Alice by herself, or Alice and Mouse, I should say. So it was nice to hear Mary state all those things, and it was almost like she was saying them as if like Kate didn't know that Mary knew that she had done those things.
Yeah, like, or that she wouldn't really remember either one.
Right, or wouldn't remember that those things had happened and stuff like that. Because I mean, throughout the season, we've seen a lot of, interactions between Kate and Mary, where it was just kind of like, I matter more and blah blah blah. Like it didn't, like it almost seemed like you always leave and blah 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 blah. Like you're my, but I don't know you, or like I don't feel that close to you.
It has that sense where it's just like it's it's like big brother, little brother, big sister, little sister kind of thing. Where it's like they kind of act like you don't fucking matter, but they will go to the ends of the earth to protect you, kind of thing.
Yeah, and
It's
just kind of
like like me and my brother when I was growing up, we weren't very close. But like as I got older, I kind of realized there was a whole lot of protecting that went on, back then. That I just didn't see was happening. But it's because I was so young, and it was just like I don't know. But like
right.
looking at it, it's like, oh, my brother really protected me like all the time.
And I also honestly don't know how much age difference there is between Mary and Kate. So
Yeah, they're far enough apart to where they wouldn't probably hang out together all the time, but close enough to where Kate would care.
yeah.
So yeah, like me and my brother's 10 years older than me. So, it's a thing. So at that point, I think that's about as far as you can get without, the brother just not giving a shit. Or the sister just not giving a shit. So we know the detonator copycat is, we find out he's covering up shit that is going on with Lucius Fox's murder. It's not the actual detonator because we know the actual detonator is dead. Sophie and Luke and what's the British chick's name?
Julia.
Yeah, her.
I had to look it up before because I was like, he's gonna ask me this girl's name, and I was
Yeah, because they don't say it in the whole.
They didn't say it at all
in the whole show.
They don't say it unless she's introducing herself, and at this point, she's only interacting with people who know her. And I was just like, "Fuck!" Like she popped up on screen. I was like, "What the fuck is her name?" I had to go back to old notes just to find her.
I know who you are. I just don't know your name.
I know it's something Pennyworth.
I'm about to say, yeah, I know she's related to Alfred, but it's just
she's Alfred's daughter. Yeah. I know that much. But I was just like, I honestly can't remember her first name.
So anyway.
That shit was driving me crazy. I'm sorry. I'm done.
I get it. It's fine. But I knew you'd find out, so I didn't bother.
And I knew you would ask me, so I was like, let me go get these.
Man.
Go get this name.
So they figure out that it's a crow that's behind everything, that's been doing all the killing and all that.
I have his name too.
We'll get there. But then Big Daddy Kane gets kidnapped and he's got a bomb on him. And the other bomb is at Wayne Tower. And they go and Batwoman confronts this motherfucker, And what's this motherfucker's name?
The crow?
Yeah, the crow.
Robles. Hold on. How do I pronounce this? Robles. Yeah.
Robles.
Something. I don't know what he is. It's that's how I heard it.
Whatever the fuck. So
What was I
she gets
saying?
him. The other bomb is at Wayne Tower, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna bring you to this bomb, and brings him to the bomb in Wayne Tower.
Mm, that was my question. Do people live in Wayne Tower, or people still work in Wayne Tower besides Luke and Kate?
Yeah, people work there.
Okay.
Yeah, people still work there, even though Bruce is gone. There's shareholders and all that kind of shit. So the company's still happening.
Okay, because what I kept thinking was like, okay, so he blows up the building. So the fuck what? I mean, besides the fact that the Bat Cave goes and blah,
Well,
blah,
you
blah.
got to think he's covering up all the shit that has to do with Lucius Fox's murder, and Luke's been asking questions. He's just trying to take out Luke. Yeah, there's other people that, if other people go down, it'll make a mark. Or if you just blow up Wayne Tower, that leaves a mark. But in the end, what they're trying to do is cover up the shit from Lucius Fox's murder. So they just take out Luke so people stop asking questions.
I feel like that doesn't work that way, though, but I'm not questioning it.
What do you mean it doesn't work that way?
Like, I feel like you take out Lucius's son. I mean, like, they don't know it. Like, the person taking him out doesn't know it. But, like, from the side of, like, Kate and, like, us and Logic, taking out Luke won't get people to stop asking questions. If anything, now I'm asking more questions.
Well, that depends on who you're talking about. The general public will not ask questions about it because they're thinking it's just the detonator. Now,
yeah,
people like Kate and the other people will keep asking questions, of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, that doesn't work the way you think it does, son.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it to, like, if someone was like explaining that as their master plan, I'd be standing like in the corner as like a sidekick, just being like, I don't know, man. That doesn't work the way you think it does.
Well, yeah. He neglected the bat factor,
I know. I'm being an asshole.
Oh, I get it because there's always in Gotham, there's always the bat factor, which includes Batwoman / Batman, because they look at shit other people don't look at. But whoever's blowing up Wayne Tower, well, no, because this is Tommy Elliott, and Tommy Elliott knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. So maybe that's all part of his plan to get Bruce to come back.
Blow up his tower and then be like, ha!
Yeah, this might all be just to get Bruce back, because he's obsessed with Bruce Wayne.
It's a good thing this is the CW and not like a different channel.
You said what?
I don't know. I had like a really weird thought in my head, and I was like, it's a good thing this is the CW, like a family channel, and not like another channel.
Like what?
I don't know. I went to like some weird fandom, like kinky fandom in my brain. Like,
talk to me. What you thinking?
Like Batman, like Bruce comes back, and Elliot. The only it's not that he wants to kill Bruce. It's just like he's like, I just want to suck his dick, like something crazy like that. Like,
for all we know, Tommy Elliott wants to suck Bruce Wayne's dick. We don't know. We don't know what Tommy Elliott wants from Bruce right now.
Through my head right now.
Maybe Tommy Elliott wants Bruce in his butthole. We don't know what Tommy Elliott wants right now.
Because the way he has like a serious hard-on for him, like I'm just like, bruh, like.
How do you know he has a hard-on? Have you seen Tommy Elliott's dick?
No, it just feels like the way
he's so obsessed. You think that he spends his nights jerking his dick thinking about Bruce Wayne?
Yup. Thinking about his master plan for Bruce.
I can't definitively say you're wrong.
You can't.
But I also can't definitively say you're right.
That's fine.
So while they're, after Kate brings, what's the crow's name again?
Robles.
Yeah, that nigga. She brings him to the bomb, and I can't disarm that shit. The only thing that can disarm the bomb is a dude in the, with the bomb strapped to him. And then Luke shows up, and he was like, yo, I want fucking answers. And this is when we find out that Tommy Elliott set all this shit up.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why? You think we found it out somewhere else?
I don't know. I didn't remember hearing anything about Tommy, but I remember that they were asking a lot of questions about.
Yeah, the code said that Tommy Elliott hired him to do all this stuff.
Yeah, like I remember him like, who told you to do this? And he said a name, and at that moment, I heard everything but the name. And I was like, it's someone. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it was Tommy. It was Tommy Elliott.
Which would make sense as to why they keep fucking showing him in this episode.
Mm-hmm. So then, Luke's about to kill this nigga. And then this is when Kate finally tells him that she killed Rat. And I'm not sure what one has to do with the other, but okay. What were you about to say?
So I don't know if you've noticed, because I've noticed. Since Crisis, since they showed Other Earth Luke, they have been finding more and more ways to get Luke out of the suits, which I have deeply appreciated. I've noticed it a lot this episode. But so when he showed up at the garage in that gray hoodie.
Oh, that did it for you?
Yes.
The gray hoodie did it for you?
Gray hoodie and the glasses. It was like, I'm thug, but I'm smart.
That was what did it for you. He was like, I want that Luke dick. That was what got you there.
It was kind of like one of those things like, I get it, Mary. I get what you see there.
Oh, you think Mary wants that Luke dick?
They keep forcing it. They're forcing it, Travis, but we'll get to that.
Really?
I feel like they've been egging on to that for weeks.
I mean, I'm all for that Afro-Asian connection. I'm cool with that. I was just wondering, where you... Oh, well, you said you would get there, so we'll get there. So this is when Kate tells him that she killed Rat. And
I understand, but to your point, I understood why she said it, why she told him, why one thing had to do with the other. Because she sees Luke about to do the same thing that she did, but he's going to do it intentionally, and she knows that's going to change him. It's going to change everything. And she was just like, no. And she realized a lot of what's bothering her. Because at first, when she went to go catch Mary, and they got hit with all the debris and stuff like that, at first I was like, maybe Kate has a concussion. And then I thought, maybe Kate got hit with fear toxin. This is all just one big ass nightmare. And because it kept happening on and off, but I realized, oh, she's having a panic attack. But when it was happening again, and she was like, oh, this is happening probably because I'm not being honest with Luke. I was like, bitch, just tell him, please. Because when she said something, it's she stopped panicking. And she was just like, nah, man, nah. Don't do this. This is why I'm all kinds of crazy. It's why I'm not talking to you about Cartwright. But anywho, so I think that's why she said it to him, because she saw him getting ready to do the same abyss jump that she accidentally did.
Okay.
Some time back. That's just my theory on it.
It's a good theory as any.
You don't realize you're staring in the abyss until you see someone else about to jump in with you.
And the question is, will you blink?
Exactly. So then he stopped.
He didn't blink.
And they blew up the garage.
Our
Only
man
the
blinked.
garage.
It's a little side thing there. For those of you who subscribe on Patreon, you'll get that one. Those of you who don't, you won't. Just subscribe to the Patreon. $5, you'll understand that joke. Anyway. Yeah, so then they go into a bomb shelter because for some reason the garage has a bomb shelter.
I don't think it was just a bomb shelter. I think
they
it was just
said the word bomb shelter. Mark.
Okay. I still don't think it was a bomb shelter. I think it was just another, because the door was open. It's not really an effective
They
bomb
literally
shelter.
used the words bomb shelter, Mara.
And I don't agree with it.
You don't have to agree with it, but it's what they said. They said that there's a bomb shelter.
I don't agree that it's a bomb shelter. And also, the majority of the garage is a bomb shelter because, they only blew up the garage.
Well, yeah, they put the blast doors down so it would contain within the tower.
Exactly. He was like,
but there was a bomb shelter within the bomb shelter, Mark.
It was they didn't close nothing. It literally was just a pack.
Just because they didn't close the bomb shelter doesn't mean there's not a bomb shelter.
It's not an effective bomb shelter then. There's a hole in it.
But it's still a bomb shelter.
Whatever.
they didn't use it properly, but there's still a bomb shelter because they said it was a bomb shelter, Mara.
If they say so. I don't agree with the terminology use. I said what I said.
So.
I said what I said. I'm done.
It's fine. You're allowed to be wrong.
I'm not saying that.
So then we get Sophie. She's going back to the Crows because there was this whole thing about them doing that shit with the British chick whose name I forgot again.
Julia.
Yeah, Julia.
They're starting a task force.
Yeah, their own task force. But then we go back to Arkham. What?
Imagine that's not like in the show. It's another spinoff.
No, Mara. No. You keep that to yourself and you lock that in. And guess what? I don't cut a lot of things out, but guess what? I'll probably cut that out because I don't need anybody to hear that. You do not need anything else. All right. You cut
come out next January.
No, I will cut this shit out for that very reason and that reason alone. This whole part of the podcast is gone. No, I don't need this to get into anybody's ear.
It's going.
But then we go back to Arkham. Because
because they can't say it's another girl power show. When Batwoman is already a girl power show. It's an LGBTQ friendly girl power show.
And they bringing on the fucking canary shit. So, yeah.
What I think they're doing.
I'm still holding out hope that show's not going to happen.
What I think they're doing. I feel like they're setting up for Sophie and Julia to kiss. I don't know. That's what I think.
They almost kiss a couple times, so I get it.
Yep.
And then we got a whole love triangle with them and Kate, and yeah. Because that's one where like Kate fucked them both, so we're like,
And then Sophie will find out for sure and confirm that Kate is Batwoman.
Yeah, she knows though. It's just
she knows. It'll be at that point where it's like, there's no you really couldn't even lie your way out of it. It's like, I see you in your suit, and it can't be like, no, I was doing the thing. I worked for Batwoman,
and then it'll be like one of the things where she only wants to fuck when she's wearing the suit.
Cricket places, but yeah,
whatever.
Like, how about you put the suit to good use?
Exactly.
Saving the city.
Exactly. And get the good kind that's crotchless.
Well then. But then, we have Luke back to the suits. Still just as good.
Oh, man. Yeah. And then we got that moment with them and, where Kate lets Luke know that Mary knows and all that shit.
I love Luke's loyalty.
Yeah. Got her back to the end.
Because she was like, no, Luke, it's okay. She knows.
He was still trying.
He was still trying so hard. And I was just like, Luke, this is precious, but stop.
Yeah, you're not good at this lying thing. Just don't do it no more.
And now you don't have to. And then when he was like, so this is what I was thinking. This is why I think that they have, because like, it's been that I've seen like Mary, like especially when things were going on with Luke's dad, like with Reggie Miller, with his retrial to.
You say with Reggie Miller?
Isn't that was his name?
Reggie Miller's a basketball player.
It was Reggie something.
I don't think it was Reggie Miller. I don't know for sure, but I know for a fact that Reggie Miller is a basketball player that played for the Indiana Pacers.
I don't know. It's Reggie something.
It very well may be Reggie Miller. I'm just saying, when you said that, the first thing that popped into my head was Reggie Miller of the Indiana Pacers.
Reggie Harris.
Okay. I know that because I fucking hated Reggie Miller back in the 90s. But anyway, go ahead.
Why did you hate him?
Because he was one of the people that the Bulls had to go through in the road to their championship, and he was in the way. So fuck Reggie Miller, particularly in 97 and 98.
Oh, okay. All right.
Took my Bulls 7 games in 98. Almost didn't happen. But we had Michael Jordan, so
looking
the
good.
ultimate trump card.
But
his royal airness.
Okay.
Air Jordan. The GOAT.
We're still going.
I
said we are still going.
Whatever.
What was I saying though?
You're talking about Reggie, whatever his name is.
Harris.
You don't remember, so we're gonna move on. So we cut back to Arkham.
Oh, because Mary was with him, during his retrial, and it feels like she just kind of pops up, pops up to Luke a lot off. I don't know. I feel like I'm always, if he's not with Kate, I always see him with Mary. That's just from my
you're just trying to ship that shit.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm cool with it, but at this point now, I don't know. I like TV show. I like TV show couples and ships and all that stuff. But when it comes to superhero shows, as much as I enjoy them, when it comes to especially side characters, I don't always see them going. I don't see them lasting. It's about as much because it's kind of I feel like we've even mentioned it before about Iris and Barry. There's always going to be trouble with, well, maybe not this in general. I feel like we've talked about it before, maybe seasons ago, where there's always going to be trouble dating someone or being with someone who is a superhero or works the superhero, a sidekick, whatever it may be. I feel like we've mentioned that's always just going to be a thing, which is why I normally don't be oh, I want them to get together and I want them to have a happily, I can't think of that. It's not like watching One Tree Hill and hoping Brooke and Lucas get together.
Who?
Two characters from One Tree Hill, but do you get what I'm saying? It's not like you're watching a teen drama and you're oh, I hope they get together and stay together. It's I don't really, in the superhero one, I don't always believe in the happy ever after.
Well, yeah, if you put them together, somebody's going to end up dead.
Exactly. I mean, look how many times Lois and Clark have gotten together and I'm pretty sure both of them had died.
Yeah, but usually one doesn't have anything to do with the other, except for in the Injustice line when Joker killed Lois and Superman went fucking nuts and just said, "Fuck that shit."
How many times have we seen each one? Probably both of them die for each other. So it's to me.
Well, the only time one of them died for the other was that time.
Yeah, no. But do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's kind of it's almost even kind of if I feel if I guess I don't know when it occurred, but in to bring it to Supernatural, even they have said it, they can't have successful relationships because it's always dangerous. It's never going to have a happy ever after. So when it comes to Mary and Luke, I like them together. Am I sitting here going crazy they need to get together? No, because that's how that is.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
but the way he looked nervous about finding out that Mary knows and he didn't tell her, or whatever, that's what it felt like. Hence why I feel like something's going, that they're trying to push something between the two of them. But go on.
You sure? You good?
Yeah, I'm 110% done.
You're positive?
Yes.
All right. So cut back to Arkham.
But yes. Cutting back to Arkham.
So we cut back to Arkham.
You lucky you unmuted me. I was about to go eat a piece of popcorn.
You ain't going no damn way. You're going to stay right here.
It's right there.
Anyway, we got Alice talking to who we think at first is the doctor, but then we realize it's not the doctor.
The second he said maybe we should stop by the ice cream stall, I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Y'all have ice cream in Arkham?"
Nah, that ain't the doc. That ain't that fucked up doctor who was shocking her. That was Mouse, who she gave the fucking knife to. He was
and then he took the face.
And took his face after he went stab on everybody in that fucking room. Yeah. Damn.
It's like, damn, but at the same time, I was like, we knew they were going to get out somehow. We knew Mouse and Alice were not going to fucking die in Arthur.
Oh, yeah. We know Alice plays no games with that shit, so.
She's like, I don't like being encaged.
Not at all.
She's like putting like a Rottweiler inside of a cage. You don't.
Exactly. In a small cage. So
right,
it's just
in a
like
small crate. He's just chilling there. It's like
just waiting for you to try to feed him one day so he can bite your fucking arm off.
Yep. Like a shark.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Batwoman. We spent a lot of time on that episode. Let's move on. Where you want to go next? Unless there's anything else with Batwoman.
No. Oh, wait. We didn't even mention the most important, like the one thing that he said that Luke and Kate talked about.
What's that?
Well, it's not important, but like it was something. It's not important.
The most important thing. It's not important.
It's not, but it was like not most important, but it was a revelation, I guess, in a sense. Okay. Remember, I don't know if you remember from like a few weeks back when. Probably not. When Mouse and Beth were under the influence of fear toxin before they were put in Arkham, so like 2 weeks ago, whatever. When we were like, oh, maybe we'd see the Scarecrow at some point, and I was like, like ever since then, or maybe even since the show started, I was like, I don't want to see another rendition of the Joker. Like, I just don't want them to do it right now. And then, so when Luke and Kate were talking about why didn't she tell him about Cartwright, he was saying, you think you're the only one who hasn't taken a life. And he was like, why? He was like, why do you think the Joker hasn't sprung up in a while? And, he's not at Arkham. And I was like, oh, shit. Bruce killed Joker.
No, that's not what happened.
What?
That's not what he was saying.
They alluded to it.
No, they didn't. That's not what he was saying.
That's literally what he alluded to.
No, that's not what he was alluding to.
So where's the Joker?
The Joker's just doing Joker shit, just not coming around because Batman's not around. His whole thing is fucking with Batman. Like, if Batman's not there, the Joker's not there because he doesn't give a fuck.
So how come we're not hearing about the Joker being anywhere else?
Because he's not doing shit because Batman's not there. That's not what they were saying, Mara.
Whatever.
That is not what they were saying
at all. Why even bring up the whole thing about taking a life part? I
got to go back and watch that again.
I literally just watched this a couple hours ago.
Okay, but I watched it on Sunday when it came on, so I don't remember that vividly. But I got to go back and see what you're talking. I remember this whole conversation happening, but I just dismissed it because it wasn't that consequential to me. But it's like he's not saying that Batman killed Joker. That's not what he was saying at all.
I just don't understand then why compare the two of them. Like one, like if the Joker. So even if I understand the whole logic because even anyone who's seen any movie with Batman and Joker or any TV show knows that they are they're both like they're yin and yang. They are together. That is it. That is what it is. One cannot exist apparently without the other. But even if to say that was true, right? Because now I'm trying to remember my thought. Why, if Bruce, that would be almost alluding to the fact that Bruce just was like, I'm gonna disappear so that Joker also disappears, right?
That's not what happened either.
But I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's almost what that would sound like to compare it to Kate's situation, because to me,
it's not.
Wait, because to me, that makes no sense when Kate is talking about killing someone and then to bring up comparing what she did to be like, oh, you think you're the only one talking about taking lives and stuff like that. Why even bring up the Joker and Batman?
Once again, I have to go back and watch that again, but I remember watching that scene and not thinking anything like that because that just Batman didn't kill the Joker, Mar. It's just, that's not what happened.
But then even if it was to be like with the same theory that the Joker exists to, fuck with Batman, if Batwoman come back, why wouldn't Joker go fuck with her either?
Because he doesn't give a fuck about Batwoman. He fucks with Batman. Like, that's his dude. He don't give a shit about Batwoman. Just like Alice didn't give a fuck about Batman.
But was Alice when Batman was around?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Either way.
No, because Batman was Batman when they were children. So that's not the same thing. It doesn't matter because at that point,
that's fine. But the thing is, why would Joker care about Batwoman when his nemesis was Batman? Like, he don't care about this other person here.
But if it's like this, if it's like pretty much equate, I know they're not the same person because they're not. But if they have the same goal, almost the same morals, I guess. Almost. Or like, I guess, yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking on this, like, Kate's looking up to Batman. It's almost damn near Batman's apprentice without being his apprentice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why go after Robin if it wasn't to fuck with Batman? Why not go after Kate?
Because Batman was still around at the time that he went after Robin. Batman's just not there. So he's not gonna fuck with her because Batman's not there at all. All he's doing is.
But why wouldn't fucking with Kate bring Batman back out?
Who knows? Who knows how the fucking Joker's mind works?
No one knows.
Exactly. That's my point. So, like, he fucks with things to fuck with Batman. I got to go back and watch that whole scene again because I didn't know that you would bring that up and think that Batman killed the Joker.
Because like watching that shit, I was just like, why? Like, because to me it would be like, why bring it up if she's talking about the guilt she feels from taking a life? Because nothing that Luke was mentioning. Find this
right now,
because it's like bringing that up when she's talking when they're talking about why wouldn't you tell me about you killing Rat and all that stuff, and it seemed like she was talking about like it doesn't. I feel like a fraud and all that stuff in the suit and all that stuff. I don't understand why comparing that to Joker and Batman would have to do with her killing someone. Because to me, it doesn't. To me,
I don't think he was actually comparing that part, though. I gotta go. Like I said, I gotta go back and find that.
But even like, I don't know. I feel like that's me telling you my hamster died, and you explaining to me you getting a car. Like, I don't like those things. They didn't like nothing in that conversation added up to me.
So you're making weird connections because you can't find one.
But because it doesn't make sense. Why would you bring that up? Because that would be the only thing that's the only thing that would make sense to me if we're talking about taking lives and feeling guilty about it. Because she was talking about, I can't, I'm disappointed. Like, she pretty much was like, disappointed Bruce. I'm not living up to the standard that he left and blah, 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 blah. I took a life and blah, blah, blah. And Luke started talking about him and the Joker. And I was like, what does that have to do with what Kate is talking about if they're not alluding to the fact that Joker was gone? Because the first thing he mentioned was, why do you think the Joker hasn't popped up and he's not in Arkham? Because apparently, I think what he's saying is everyone thinks that he is in Arkham, except for people who are in Arkham, because obviously they know he's not in Arkham. Because that's how it sounded.
Like I said, I need to find this now because what you're saying to me makes no sense to me, so I'm going to find it.
Why does that not make sense?
Because I know Batman didn't kill the fucking Joker. That's why it doesn't make sense.
Why is that? I don't understand why that's so perplexing to believe.
Because he doesn't do that. That's why.
But the end of Killing Joke is also left open to believe that he might have killed the Joker.
No, it's not. It's left open to people who don't know Batman.
There's literally articles about it.
And those are people who don't know Batman. Because it's just like, he didn't kill the Joker.
Oh my God. Why wouldn't he kill the Joker? Besides the fact that he does not
kill. Because he's never done it. That's why he didn't kill the Joker.
What do you mean? There's different renditions all over the place. At some level, you're telling me on some level, there's no way whatsoever Batman would ever kill the Joker.
When has he done it?
But I'm saying even at all, there's no possibility ever. I'm
saying you've never seen him kill the Joker.
Let me finish. Because that's like saying, why wouldn't he though? Besides that,
but he didn't.
Okay.
That's my point.
I've never had a dick in the ear, and I never will. That's not to say I won't say it. Like if someone's like, "Let me put my dick in your ear." Like, are you saying you're not going to try it, even though you've never done it?
I'm saying you're speculating on things that have never happened when there's evidence of what has and hasn't happened.
But that's not to say there's no degree of chance. There's not saying there's no degree of chance.
So you're saying in all realms of possible possibilities, maybe somewhere on some weird alternate universe, maybe Batman killed the Joker?
Yes, Travis.
Okay, fine. Yeah, some weird way, in some
Okay.
way out there universe, maybe some strange Batman killed the Joker.
Yes, because even on the other Earth that Kate visited for Batman, he killed someone.
Okay,
So
but I'm talking about
say,
this particular Earth that they're on right now. Batman didn't kill the Joker.
Okay, well, we don't know that for a fact.
You don't know that he did. You said he did.
I didn't know. I didn't say he did. I said they speculated that they did, and you said no, they didn't. All I'm saying is that he's
hold on. I'm there now. Hold on. I'm at the scene right now.
Oh my gosh. You don't sit here and tell me that's not like convinced. That's not like convinced. That's not like trying to convince. He might have killed him.
You made me lose it. Now they hit the button. Hold on. Because I will argue about you with this one. Because
I'm not saying he said Batman killed the Joker, but he alluded to it.
No, he didn't. That's not what he was saying. That's my point. My point is that's not what he was saying.
That's like me, but that's not that's how you took it. But how I took it was that it sounded like he said Batman killed the Joker.
Hold on.
That's like me saying, yeah, Sarah might have, like, you know, why you think you haven't seen Sarah and so doing this and da, da, da. But like all of a sudden they talking about this, like what the
you just said a whole lot of nothing just then.
I did. But like that's like saying that's like saying like, oh, they may have slept together. Why do you think they don't talk no more? Why do you think Bethany and Sarah ain't friends no more? And Bethany broke up with her boyfriend. Why do you think? That's what that sounded like. Luke was going to Kate saying, why do you think Batman and Joker don't fuck with each other?
Now the CW app is playing like a whole shitload of ads right now, and they're fucking with me.
That's why I hate that shit. You know what's funny? Batwoman was the only thing I was able to watch with on my Kodi app. I couldn't get anything else. Batwoman was the only thing I was able to watch without commercials, except for, actually, no, I watched everything without commercials because I bought the other 2 episodes. Oh, so much money was spent today. Not really. $5 was spent.
Oh, man.
$4. No, $5 was spent.
Hold on, no, that's him doing that shit. Forward, sir. There we go. Are we back at Wayne Tech? Are you? Oh, I don't give a shit about that. Move forward.
I like to imagine this is what you are like when you watch the shows live.
Hold on.
Shh. I broke Batman's code. You think you're the only one? Ever wonder why the Joker hasn't reared his head in 5 years? He's not in Arkham, Kate. Both you and Bruce steered into the abyss. The question is, how long are you going to let it stare back at you?
Okay, so I assume that you've seen this because you look good.
Oh, so that's the thing that you saw that made you think that Batman may have killed Joker. Okay, whatever. Moving on.
Because
because that doesn't mean that to me, but that means that to you. So we're gonna move on.
Wait. So what did that translate to you? I just want to know, because to me, I don't see how that could have meant anything else as opposed to in that I broke Batman's code. You think you're the only one, and then continues to make a reference to the Joker, and then continues to go, you both stared into the abyss. Please.
Didn't we just watch Crisis?
What?
Didn't we just watch Crisis on 2 Earths?
What? Don't distract me from that. What did you think of that? What did you think that meant?
What I thought that meant was there's a lot of possibilities that could have happened to the Joker. And they think he's in Arkham. He can be anywhere.
But what else could have happened to the Joker that would have broken Batman's code? Because I feel like Batman's whole purpose this whole time has put this motherfucker in Arkham. Where else would he put the Joker that the Joker would no longer be a threat to anyone else besides his basement on the island that he is hiding on as a sex slave. Because that's the only thing I will accept. That is the only thing I will accept, is that Batman has him on whatever island Batman has bought, Bruce Wayne has bought, and has the Joker locked in his basement, tied up in a guillotine for random weird sex.
Are you done?
Yes, and you're not going to convince me otherwise.
I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. I'm just not about to argue about some shit that doesn't happen. Anyway, like I was saying,
to understand what
and I'm about to tell you, if you stop, that's why I asked if you were done.
Yes, I'm done.
Now, when he says you think you're the only one, who's to say he's always talking about Batman?
But why bring him up then?
Again, are you done? Who's to say he's always talking about Batman? Let's talk about the list of people who have worked with Batman. We got Dick Grayson. We got Jason Todd. We got Tim Drake. Jason Todd, who was killed by the Joker, who breaks Batman's code on a regular basis, who kills as the Red Hood. You follow me? These are all people who have worked with Batman, who have followed Batman before,
I'm leaving
and
all
who may or may not have broken Batman's code. And I just gave you somebody with a whole lot of motive to kill the fucking Joker.
Are you done? Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do they exist in that universe?
Why wouldn't they?
Do we know that for a fact?
No.
Since we're speculating there?
No, we don't.
Okay. I only ask that because they've listed other associates and they don't, or they've created new ones or whatever. Julia. Yeah, whatever. That's what I was like, they never mentioned Dick, who was apparently Bruce's son. They didn't mention that Bruce has a son. That's why I was just like, that's
Dick
all.
is not
I'm not
Bruce's son.
Whichever one is his fucking son.
Are you talking about Damien? I didn't even get to Damien.
Either one, but what I like, either way, they haven't mentioned any of his other associates. That's all I'm putting. I'm not arguing saying you're wrong. I'm not saying it's not possible it's them, but I'm saying to pull out random people who have never been mentioned yet.
That's not random. You just said people who have broken Batman's code. I'm just telling you, there are people who have broken Batman's code. They don't mention James Gordon in this universe either. We know he is
in their universe, though.
Yes, it's in Gotham. There's no way there's no James Gordon in this universe. It's just.
Or did they have Robin? Like, did they have Robin at that point? That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know. Because again, we don't know what part time this is in of, I guess, Batman, because it always goes all over the place. Like, whenever his psychic, like, we don't know about a Robin. They always talk about Batman, but they don't mention, well, where's Robin? You know. So that's only my thing. That's the only reason why I feel like they took it to that. I could see why Dick Grayson or Jason Todd would kill the Joker, because I mean, he did kill one of them, but or try to or whatever. But I'd be like, I just feel like I feel like what they did with that wording, they knew what they were doing. Because it would either open the door to bring out a Robin, or to even mention him, or they're alluding to, do you think, like, you know, because people are always like, that's the only way that relationship's ever going to end. And it also gives them a reason to not bring up the Joker into the show. That's all I was getting across. I was like, oh, okay. That's all I was saying. I thought they were just alluding to the fact that Batman has taken him off the board and we will not see him, because in all honesty, which was the real point of my conversation, I don't want to see another rendition of him.
Okay.
Now we can move on to Legends.
You said Legends?
Yeah, because you thought I was going to talk about Flash next?
I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. You're all kinds of wrong this episode. So I just want to know where you want to go.
I'm not wrong. I'm entitled to my opinion.
Legends. Let's go.
Now I want to talk about Flash. We're going to end
Too bad we're at Legends already. I already opened it up. So this episode was called what?
Why are your notes not on the same thing?
Because I have notes for each show.
Yeah, but why are they not like in the same place?
Why
Like,
would I
don't you
want to
just
do
kinda-
that and have to move around on my same pad when I can go to individual notes for each show?
Oh, I just kind of just scroll down.
Well, there you go. That doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, Legends. What's the name of the episode?
The Great British Fake Off.
The Great what?
British Fake Off.
Fake
Not
Off.
to be confused with the Bake Off.
So this whole
You
thing
watch
kicks
that?
off with I haven't seen it, but I know about it.
Yeah, same.
So this whole thing kicks off with Charlie talking to the Legends about how she got rid of the last loom, the ring, and all that.
When she was Clotho.
Yeah, and brought it to the Enchantress to get rid of and hide and all that. Zari's tripping. Like, she's just making demands and shit of people, like just telling them what they should be able to do with their abilities and all that. And I'm just like, yo, I need you to shut the fuck up. Like, she was getting on my goddamn nerves this whole episode.
This episode, I hate this Zari. I miss the old Zari.
Yeah, exactly. I want Zari back. Like, I want our Zari back. The whole time I'm watching this, I'm just
like last week when she did, like, you know, the episode that was kind of more centric about her, I guess, meeting the old Zari. I was like, ooh, this is when she did her totem quest. I was like, yes, she gonna come out of this shit. She gonna remember the old shit.
exactly. We're gonna get a nice little merge there, and we're gonna get the old Zari back with a little bit of this new Zari, but mostly old Zari. But no.
Right. Maybe she's like learning how to use the totem better, but like she still has like the better like stuff. I was just like, bitch, why are you still here?
Yeah. I don't know.
I have the Kylie Jenner of Zari's fucking like, I don't want this one. Like,
yeah.
Can we just kill her and get another one?
Yeah.
Like, just reanimate her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Kardashian without the sex tape is just like, why are you here?
Can we get the Chloe? Like,
yeah.
She a little messy, but like, you know, she a little bit more, or at least the Kendall. Like, I don't know. I'm just calling out names. I don't really care anymore, even though I love watching their show.
So she goes to Nate. She's, you know,
rubs in his face that she met his Zari. And I was like, you're such a bitch. Like, why would you tell him that?
Yeah. There's something going on with Sarah. Like, she's all fucked up after her encounter with the Fate sister. Because, you know, who wouldn't be?
If you survived it, like, you know, it's funny. Like, I would rather survive that shit and be like a little fucked up for a bit, and I was like, than to die.
Then to get burned from the inside out. Yeah. So Constantine has a plan to do some shit to find the ring. And while he's doing his little magical shit, Sarah passes out, but Constantine and Zari end up falling through some portal.
Yes. What is the shit that was going on with Ava that she saw? Because I thought at first maybe they were doing like astral shit. And then I was like, but then no one else's spirit or whatever left them, only Ava's.
I have no idea.
And I was just like, Sarah, what the fuck are you tripping on?
I didn't understand what was happening there either. But,
oh, okay. Yeah. As long as it wasn't just me, because I was literally just like, what?
Yeah. So they're in this other place. I guess they're like, you know, in the past where the shit's going down. There's this weird doctor dude. We find out it's Jack the Ripper. Zari's still being annoying.
But she finds her way to be useful.
For a minute, and then she starts to suck again.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so many times I just put in here that Zari sucks. Like, it's just... I
can only imagine what your notes look like. Like, just in the margins, Zari sucks.
Yeah.
In the other margins on the other side of the page in another language, Zari sucks.
Yeah.
Bring back Birod.
So then, you know, we got Ava's going to go down the hill with Mick to go talk to Astra, I guess, because...
With Gary.
Yeah, well, yeah, Gary's the one that does the spell, so he goes with him. Yeah.
While they're in the house, though.
Bunch of encores. Bunch of them. Whole bunch of them.
We also
Bonnie and Clyde.
Henry VIII, Black Caesar, Brutus.
Yeah, just all of them.
I've never heard of Black Caesar.
I've heard the name Black Caesar, but I don't know much about him.
I was like, out of all the people to bring out, like, brought, like everyone else, I understood like reasons why they were there. You couldn't bring out like Redbeard, Blackbeard,
I don't know. Maybe they're like, yo, we need a black guy.
Captain Morgan. I don't know. They're all from the Caribbean. Make him black. I don't know.
Yeah, they got him like, yeah, Blackbeard,
Except for
Calico
Captain
Jack.
Morgan. He is not black.
Yeah, you give me like, Calico Jack, any of them.
Right. Like
I like his rum, so yeah.
Calico Jack?
Yeah.
I do like Calico Jack.
Yeah, Captain Jack Rackham.
And then, so while they're in the house, with the way this old lady was acting, I kept thinking, I was like, what is this old lady? Who is she?
Who is she? Yeah.
Because it was just like, she's a little too calm about.
She's too calm and too informed. Kind of like just okay with what's going on.
Like when she sees like niggas like Brutus and like Bonnie and Clyde and Jack the Ripper sitting on her couch, and she's like, come for supper before the food gets cold. I was like, bitch, what is wrong with you? Like, read the room.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
Then we get, Zarya pretending to be Cleopatra.
Which at first I was just like, Cleopatra though? And I was like, no, that's Zari. Because I was like, why is Cleopatra in hell?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
I didn't know the bitch, so I don't know what she did or didn't do. So
right, which then made me realize I don't know enough about like Egyptian, like or Greek history to be like,
Yeah, I know more mythology when it comes to Greek and Egyptian than I know actual history. So yeah.
Mythology is what's up.
So anyway, then we find out
they're also teasing Zari and Constantine, but
yeah, they've been teasing now. They keep almost kissing, and it's just like, poor Nate. Like he can't catch a break.
Which is what I was wondering. I was like, so is that just over now, or is that like?
Well, yeah, he was with the others already. He's just
because I was like, I guess like he was just kind of hoping that like, I guess when they kind of shut down when she came back from her totem quest, pretty much she's gonna be the same way. I was like, okay, I guess like thinking about that now, I'm guessing like, yeah, I guess Zari and Nate are over, but I was like, but Constantine. Not that there's anything wrong with Constantine either. I like this Constantine. Not that I didn't like Keanu Reeves either, but like I'm not like Keanu Reeves. But you know what I'm saying. Do you?
Not really, but I was gonna let you keep going until you like got there.
I'm not sexually attracted to Keanu Reeves, but I think he's an awesome ass dude. The dude who plays John Constantine, it's really just a lot of his accent and when he speaks Latin.
Okay.
White dudes with magic will always do the trick, but other than that,
I see.
Imagine. Keep going.
So we find out finally, well, I guess I found out here, I don't know if anybody else knew, that this, the one that's been helping Astra all this time is one of the Fates. It's the oldest.
I remember Lachesis. I knew she helped, like I remember they showed them together at one point. But
showed who? Pronouns, pal.
They showed Astra and I think they showed Lachesis together, I think.
Yeah, they showed that before. Yes, I knew that.
But when they actually named Lachesis and showed that she was one of Charlie's sisters, I didn't put those two together. That she was the one who was with Astra, because it was only for like a minute. Mm-hmm. So I didn't remember her face.
I didn't remember if they showed her or not last episode. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, and then so when they were talking about when they went to confront Astra, and they were just them being like Ava, Mick, and Gary. Astra was like, I haven't released a encore since I last spoke to John, which was like X amount of weeks ago. So then it was like, oh, but then who's been releasing all the encores? And you realize it's been Lachesis this whole time. And, and Astra realizes that's this bitch double-crossed her. Well, not double-crossed her, but she was just like, you weren't paying attention and you don't need them.
Mm-hmm. So they want her to be the third Fate now.
Which I don't understand how that works.
I don't know either, but apparently it's a thing, so whatever.
Because like as soon as she said become one of us, I was like,
I don't know how you just become a fate, but
right. Like, and then what happens to Charlie? Like,
I don't know. I don't think they care what happens to Charlie.
but I mean, like, can you unfate a fate?
They seem to think so.
Okay.
But she was like, I'll do it, but I want Constantine's soul coin though. And she was like, all right,
damn, man.
Here, whatever. Like, she don't give a fuck. Here, take it.
You know what's funny? She said when she did that, I was like, damn, Ashley, like you really just don't fuck with John. Like,
No, not at all. Not at all.
I was like, you really just said, fuck this nigga. That's my play toy.
Mm-hmm.
So then we realized she went to go help Ava and all. I was just like, oh.
But yeah, she did. But she still has his soul coin.
She does.
It's just like I said,
we don't know what that means. I mean, who knows? Who knows that? I mean, I feel like this is just going to turn around.
What you mean you don't know? She was able to give him fucking accelerated cancer. Like, you don't know what that means.
That was before
she can do whatever the fuck she wants with him. That's what that means.
No, I know, but I mean, like, I don't see that happening now. Like after, like,
I do.
I mean, if you don't help her, I see it happening again, but I don't see her just doing it like for shits and giggles. Unless they had like this web series where it would show what happens on the Wave Rider when they're not fucking doing it's just
No, I see her doing it still because I still think she doesn't fuck with Constantine. So
she doesn't, but I feel like she'll put it aside for the sake of the mission. But
yeah, and then she'll kill him.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking
about
the
end goal is still for her to kill him. She will still give him accelerated cancer again. Like, what you mean? That's why she wants it.
That's what she'll reveal. Like, when I took the cancer away, I didn't fully take it away. You're only at like early stage. You're at curable stage.
Like, you're just in remission. It'll come back.
Oh, I should laugh about that because that's horrible.
Yeah, but
whatever. Fuck.
Yeah, she goes back with Ava, Mick, and Gary, and
goes back with them to the Wave Rider.
Yeah, and they're just like, "Yo, what the fuck is she doing here?" And
I'm sure Sarah's gonna wake up and be like, "Ava, I passed out for a day, and you brought Astra on the ship."
Yeah, this is what you do. This is why I don't trust nobody. Like,
she's like, "I love you, Ava, but damn."
So we cut back to the mansion party going on, and we see Zari finally like wielding the wind totem. She and Constantine almost kiss. They take out all those encores. They take all the power weapons, and then they reveal because Constantine knows that the Enchantress is the one running the fucking place.
That was a cute little reveal because, in all honesty, I feel like I should have saw that coming, but at the same time, I was like, oh, okay. All right, that was the Enchantress. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, I feel you.
It was like a wholesome surprise.
Anything else with Legends?
No.
Cool.
I love that Legends is always about 5 to 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's easy to get through because it's never that deep. Like, it's
really not because it doesn't really affect anything in the other shows. It don't do nothing else. It's literally just like they have one small blip and they gotta go fucking fix it, and then that's it.
Yeah, they do their thing and they get out of the way. Like, it's just
they get out of the way for Barry and Kara and Kate to keep doing, and Jeff to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah. So this episode of Flash is called what?
Liberation. And in all honesty, I wanted to call roll credits at least 3 times, even though I held up 10 fingers.
Why is that?
Because the amount of times this bitch was like, and then I will be liberated. I was like, shut the fuck up.
Eva. Yeah.
It's
So
really
anyway.
like deliver us from. I'm surprised they have not had an the episode that she goes head to head with her husband needs to be called Deliver Us from Eva. I need her season climax to be called Deliver Us from Eva because it's the only thing that will make this season better.
Do we get a Gabrielle Union cameo?
I need it. I need it. Or LL Cool J.
Or LL Cool J.
Or anyone else. Or like who else?
No, it needs to be one of those two. It needs to either be LL Cool J or Gabrielle Union make a cameo.
Right.
I haven't seen LL Cool J anything in a long time, so I feel like that should be it.
Because he only hosts live shows and they're not allowed to be in groups of bigger than 5. So he can't do anything right now. His whole career consists of being around big groups of people. He can't do nothing. He should, you know what he should do? He should work on another album, another R&B album. That's what he should be working on right now because he has all the fucking time in the world.
Mama Say Knock You Out Part 2.
Yes, just in time for Mother's Day because that will make my Mother's Day in quarantine worth it. Because Mother's Day, I believe, is before our shelter in place is over. So I don't even get to fucking enjoy it.
Or you get a sequel to I Need Love.
Ooh. Or a sequel to Who Do You Love?
All right, let's stop talking about LL Cool J. We need to move on to the Flash.
We don't ever have to stop talking about LL Cool J.
Yeah, we do. We're going to stop right now. We're going to talk about the Flash. So.
Can you tell I have daddy issues?
I wasn't saying that until you did, but okay.
Because I always think that, especially because like the man is like 20 years older than I am. Or wait, is he that older? Either.
Yeah, he's old as fuck. But anyway, he was like 25 when you were born. But I don't know that for a fact. I'm just throwing that out there.
But yeah, I stand by my point. Her climax episode, because we haven't had it yet, it needs to be called Deliver Us from Evil, Eva, or Evil, either one. I'll take either one, actually. Eva or Evil, because she is Eva and she is evil. So.
Is she evil or is she just misunderstood?
You're right.
I was being sarcastic. She's fucking evil. But still, it's just, she's evil for a reason, but she's fucking evil.
But I still don't really know what her master plan is, though.
I mean, she was, willing to kill some folks. So,
No, I know. But to me, it just kind of feels like she's like, because this kind of goes into the episode 2 with Iris. I mean, like with her interaction with Iris. Because I feel like she's like, I don't remember fully what happened the night of the particle acceleration for her. I remember she was doing something and bam, she's in the mirror. And her husband was like, bye, bitch. To me, it just kind of seems like she's a very scorned woman just trying to tell her husband, fuck you in person. I feel like that's all this is.
Yeah, but then she's willing to kill everybody on the path to doing that, which makes her evil.
Evil, but misunderstood evil, because I feel like you're stopping her from just saying fuck you. Like, just let her say it and she probably will just go about her day.
Well, the problem is that's all well and good until you kidnap my fucking wife.
Yeah, no. She fucked up on that, and with Camilla and with Captain Singh.
Yeah.
I didn't say she's not wrong. No. She's not right. She's wrong with how she's doing everything. I'm not as quick to label her as evil. She's a villain. I don't consider, she's not Dr. Evil though. She's not saying I'm holding the earth hostage for $1 million. She's like, I just need y'all.
What villain actually does that though?
Dr. Evil did that.
Besides him. That's what I mean.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she's
But he was like a parody of villains though. That was the point of that one. You can't hold other villains to his standard. Like, that doesn't count.
Okay, well, she's not the Joker. She's not doing things for shits and giggles. She's literally just like, let me go bitch up my husband, probably get a divorce or become a widow, either one. And she's like, I'll go back to my research. That's all I want. I just want to be free and I want to get my research. And, after being in quarantine, which I also didn't mention during Batwoman, I was like, the irony of watching Gotham go on lockdown while we're in lockdown was triggering, but was also funny. But I feel like she's just like, let me do my shit and I'll just go back to my business. Or she might even be like, take me in. I just want to take him. But she's still wrong.
If you say so.
Yep, she's still wrong.
I think there's an evil obsession there, but
It might be, unless she has like some other ulterior motive that we just don't
Maybe.
know of yet, which is probably what they would throw at us.
So this episode kicks off though with Barry and Dibney and Cisco, which is what I was trying to bring up before.
Sorry.
You went on this whole delivers from Eva tangent.
I needed to share that before I forgot it. But go on.
Barry and Dibney and Cisco are working on their Speed Force machine, trying to create their own Speed Force. It starts off like it's gonna work. It's almost gonna work, and then doesn't work.
I almost thought this was gonna be like, this is how we got here, because I was like, this was a pretty, to me, it was a pretty random intro. It felt like I had to check. I checked my TV twice. I was like, did I start this like somewhere in? I was like, how? Because I just bought this, but like, I don't know, because it just started as, so we're just gonna make a Speed Force with the, you know.
Well, they talked about this a while ago.
No, I know. It's just kind of like I guess that's the way it started. It's probably to me, it's a post-production thing. It's just the way it just started. I was like, oh, this felt like a mid scene, but whatever.
No, this ain't BET. So
Or a soap opera.
Hmm?
Or a soap opera.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when they end the day like on a random thing, and you come back tomorrow and they're staying in the same place, same position, same clothes, same handstands. How could you do this, Paul?
I was just talking about the random movies that pop up on BET when they start at the end of the story and like, you probably wonder how I ended up here.
That's what I thought. Like, you know, and then it goes back to a week ago.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's not what's happening
comics.
So Cecile shows up after it all fails, and she's like trying to convince Barry to go talk to Iris, and he's just like, nah, bruh. And so she's like, all right, whatever. Then we go back to Eva talking to Mirror Iris and Mirror Camilla. And they're like, yeah, we got you. We're going to do your job and all that shit.
Success is assured.
Yeah. And then that's when Cecile shows up and tries to talk to fake Iris about Barry, and she ain't having it either.
I mean, when she asked Barry, like, are you sure you don't want to go see Iris? And I was just like, the fuck, Cecile. Why would he want to go see Iris? Because Iris is acting fucking crazy, and Barry knows that.
Yeah, like something's fucked up here. He's like, I don't want nothing to do with that shit.
You know? And it's like, I normally love Cecile because I think she's adorable, and I think her power is actually very useful a lot of the time. But I felt like today, or not today, because I watched today, I felt like this episode, I was just kind of like, Cecile, baby, what's going on? Like, we can't be this aloof, and you are an empath. Like, you like this is your thing. Like, this is a part of you. Like, how are you not seeing what's happening here? And I'm not saying, how are you not seeing that Iris is a mirror reflection? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, why are you not
seeing that something's wrong? Yeah.
Right. Like, why is no one calling Iris on her shit of, you are acting fucking, what is the word? Unreasonable. You're being unreasonable.
Well, the problem is Joe isn't there, because Joe noticed a while ago that something was up with Iris, you know, so.
Like back when Barry was having an issue and he was like, bitch, check on your husband. Like,
yeah. He noticed a while ago something was up with her. So it's just, if he was still around, I feel like him and Barry together would have figured it out, and him and Barry would have been able to convince everybody else. We wouldn't have had this whole thing with them throwing him in the pipeline. However, Joe's gone.
I also was a little weirded out. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's probably specific reasons as to why. I feel a little bit weirded out that Cecile and Jenna didn't go with Joe into Witsec.
Yeah, I was bothered by that also last week.
Because I know, like, you have an issue with the fact that you haven't seen Jenna in like some time, because even though the fact that she's an infant, and,
at least they've mentioned it though. Like, it was like episodes and episodes. We didn't acknowledge that she existed, and then they finally did it again. I'm like, okay, they at least acknowledge that this child exists.
Well, I think it's because, and I feel like you've said this to me, babies are boring. They don't do it.
They are. But they shouldn't have done it then. That's my point. Like, it's just, yeah, they're boring.
But then Cecile wouldn't have gotten her powers. So it was just like, they had to find some way to get that to there. But anywho, I thought that was very alarming, because, like, I highly doubt that they would that they would take Joe into Wits. Because I even sat here and I was like, well, maybe Joe and Jenna went. And I was like, no, I don't see anywhere there being a logical argument as for why Joe would take Jenna, but not take Cecile too.
Well, they even said that the baby was with like somebody. I forgot who they said she was with, but
right. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I just felt like it's weird because I feel like typically when I watch something and someone's going into WITSEC,
they take the family. Yeah,
they take the whole family. Like, there's no like. I understand Cecile is a DA. She has other things she got to do, but I was like, you can still leave. You're a DA. You can leave. You have that kind of power. You can go. I was like, if the police captain can leave, the DA can leave.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. But I also felt like for this episode, Cecile was very pertinent to the episode. But it's just kind of like one of those things. I wish this had happened when Joe was here.
Yeah. So Cecile is talking to Iris, and she's sensing during this whole time that fake Iris is feeling all sad and conflicted and shit. And we don't. Yeah.
Can you tell me what I feel that I need, Cecile? What?
Yeah.
No one thought that was weird. Can you tell me what I'm feeling?
Well, I'm sure that feeds into how, Cecile ends up believing Barry later on. She's like, yo, something's up here. I believe you.
True. Because I was just kind of like, I don't get it. Like, because like I went a lot of back and forth, like, Cecile, come on. But then I was like, okay, there we go, Cecile. And then it went back to, God damn it, Cecile. And then it went back to, yes, Cecile. Like, when she put the cuffs on, I was like, what the fuck? And then when she let him back out of the pipeline, I was like, oh, thank Jesus. Like,
yeah. So then she goes to Barry, and this is when we find out that Barry knows that this isn't Iris. And he has this whole crazy board with his connecting dots and theories and shit that looks crazy as fuck. But the funny thing is, it's all fucking true. It's just like...
Wait. I need to talk about the fact that watching Barry go down this rabbit hole with Cecile is exactly how I felt every time I said, no one's going to say something's wrong with Iris. Because he said something like, I think I said like verbatim, and I was just like, ah! Because when Cecile was like, Barry, don't you think maybe you're just this is maybe a little bit of fear because your marriage going through a rough patch? She was like, Cecile, we've seen crazier. I was like, I said that. I literally said that. I was like, they've seen crazier things. You're telling me Iris isn't Iris?
We've had like Barry not be Barry, so that makes sense.
Exactly. So I was sitting here thinking, like, it was like one of those moments where you feel seen, but you felt crazy.
I love how the crux of his argument, like the defining thing, was the pancakes. It was just like, I get it. Like, yo, bruh, my wife can't cook. All right, she cannot cook.
Cook. The pancakes were too good. Literally, I wrote, the pancakes were a large clue.
Yeah. Like, I know this woman. I love this woman with all my heart. She can't make pancakes.
And then when he tried to like play it off and be like, but the biggest clue was when she no. That was not the biggest clue.
No, the biggest clue was the goddamn pancakes.
And was the first one. And that was the first clue. Was the pancakes.
Yeah, you knew after the pancakes. You didn't want to admit it after the pancakes, but you knew after the pancakes.
You were like, damn, the pancakes were so good. I didn't want to believe it. I just wanted to believe that Iris found a recipe that was simple enough that even Iris couldn't fuck it up. And it just goes to show you that Barry still doesn't have that kind of faith in his wife, and I understand it. But for the rest of us Black women out there, I need her to get her skill up because she's making us look bad. But like, it was so funny because it was just like the way I felt that he was feeling is exactly how I felt trying to rationalize it for the past. How many weeks has it been? Like 8?
Too many, because we had that long break still too, and yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
long as fuck.
It's been like, no, it's actually we came back from Crisis at 101, so it's been about 12 weeks. For 12 weeks, I've been like very summarized how I felt for 12 weeks in 3 minutes.
Well, no, she didn't. She wasn't gone after 12 weeks. It was a few episodes in. So
You're right. But you get what I'm saying.
I know
But
what you
for
mean,
least,
though. Yeah.
we'll go with at least 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
For at least the extent of this lockdown quarantine shit, I have felt the way Barry felt within 3 minutes of the episode. And I felt very recognized. And I was like, literally, the second Cecile came in and she said, why can't I get in my house? And Barry said, Iris is not Iris. I was like, thank you, God! Yes! I started screaming. My neighbors probably think I was being brutally murdered in here, the way I was screaming.
Wow.
Think like when Iron Man said, I am Iron Man in the theaters the night of Endgame.
Okay.
That's how I was screaming.
I don't know, man. I think the bigger one was when, you know, Cap finally said Avengers Assemble, because yeah. I just watched that movie a couple days ago because it was the anniversary of the release of Avengers Endgame, and I still lose my shit every time he says that. But
not ready to watch it yet.
Why?
I don't know. Something.
That wasn't even the hard one. The Infinity War was the hard one.
It was, but I mean, I think even though like we knew it was coming, I think Tony dying, I think was very sad for me, because I mean, like Tony was one of the first couple. He was like the first. I want to say first 3, 4, probably the first 3 Marvel heroes movies I watched.
I want to say, yeah, he was the first one, so it was just he started the whole thing.
In that, I mean, like in the MCU, but I feel like for all of the superhero movies, like when I started getting into them, he was one of the first 3, not the first, because like I think Spider-Man or X-Men was probably the first one I saw, and then one or the other, and then Iron Man. So like for me, and then getting attached to the MCU, I was like, oh, Tony, you weren't supposed to go. You're supposed to be captain.
I mean, he's gone too, but
yeah, but again, to me, like that felt more justified, because I was like, at this point, nigga has lived like 2 lifetimes, and never once did they acknowledge that he might have been racist. That he might have had an issue.
I mean, he gave Sam the shield though, so you know.
He did. He also didn't meet Sam until it was more modern times, but I won't go into that.
He was the same age though. He hadn't aged at all. He woke up in that time, and then Sam was his boy.
You're right. I don't know. I always find it funny when I see like the jokes that they make about Captain America.
I mean, I get it, but the thing is, like they say he's enlightened because of the times he lived in, but like he didn't live through the Civil Rights Movement. He was gone. He just came back, and that was all over with.
Yeah, I felt like he woke up and it was like, read the room, motherfucker. It was like, read the room before you open your mouth, because you know what I'm saying, like when he was enlisting, it was a way different time. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, he might have been. Chances are he wasn't, but like you never know, because it's funny. It's funny to think about it, especially when they opened up that realm of what if he was a Soviet or whatever. But come back to this universe.
Only reason why I would deny that is because if he were that kind of person, he would not have been worthy to live Mjolnir.
This is true.
But anyway, moving on. Back to what we were talking about. We were talking about the Flash. So, Cisco and Dibney go to see Caitlin because they hadn't seen her in a long time. And she's all icy and shit, but she's not Killer Frost, but she's all icy. Like, yo, what the fuck's going on here?
I won't lie. I forgot all about her. Because it was like
I didn't. So I was curious because I was wondering what they were going to do about it because she was pregnant, you know. So
yeah, she's very pregnant right now. Because I didn't forget. Like I was kind of just I think as in the last few weeks because she wasn't doing as much. I realized I wasn't caring as much about her story. Mm-hmm. So like when she got hit with like UV's thing, I forgot all about that had happening. Also because there's been a chunk of time since we've watched.
Right.
But at that point, I think I already knew Danielle Panabaker was pregnant. Or whatever it was. Whatever. But when they got to her apartment, I was just like, I forgot all about this girl. Mm-hmm. I was like, because, you know, they showed them in the beginning setting up the the thing to do the Speed Force, I was like, I wasn't even sitting there thinking like, where the fuck is Caitlin? Like, I didn't even think about it until they went to go see her, and I was like, oh yeah, she's still there.
Yeah.
Because I've been so fixated on what's going on with Iris and then Camilla, which is a whole other thing. So let's get into this. Keep going.
Yeah. So we come back to Iris. She's back there with Eva. She wants to just like, yo, if we smash this shit, we can figure some shit out. And Eva freaks out and just walks away. And
which also made her look more sus, which is also why I was like, Iris, why are you so trusting of her?
Well, she's not, which is why she found that little button right there.
Well, at that point, up to that point, she was trusting of her. I feel like. Well,
yeah, but until then, she had no reason not to trust her because she hadn't freaked out like that before that we saw, you know?
No, I know. It's just kind of just like, I feel like Iris had a lot of questions, and I feel like there was a lot of questions that I feel like there's a lot of things that Eva hasn't explained to her. And I mean, even if they happen in like off-scene assumption moments, like I just feel like it's a lot where it's kind of, and it's coming from the point of view of like, I'm watching from the outside in and I can tell off the bat something's off with her without me even seeing other shit that Eva has done. Like I was like, something's not right. Because we have extra knowledge in Iris does. So it's like it's trying to rationalize, why can't you see that what she's doing is weird? But then it's like, but you don't see everything, Iris. So,
So she hits the button, finds this, this wall opens up or some shit. We'll get back to that in a second. But
some secret room. Did you laugh when you saw there was a button on the mirror?
I did kind of. It wasn't a laugh. It was just like, really? Like, how do you not see that before? Like, that was really my thing. It was just like, it wasn't a laugh. It was more of just a, really? That's a big button, too. It wasn't even like it was a little hidden button. It was just right there on the frame, just like, boom, right here.
I cackled.
Like a goddamn doorbell. Like, it's
right. Like, it looked so big. I was like, how the fuck didn't you see that before? I literally cackled when I saw that. And I was just, because it was like, okay, so she's not going to smash it, but look, there's a button. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn. And so she found like,
that's why you weren't actually on Team Flash the first few seasons, because you're not observant enough.
Right. And that's why everyone was so pissed at you when you tried to take over when Barry was in the Speed Force. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, we can't trust you. Your non-observant ass. So,
call yourself a reporter.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, though. She's a Cowboys fan, so, they can't see shit either. So,
I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't care.
I know you're not. Your demographic should hate them more than I do. So, Barry and Cecile, they find the little fucked up photo of Mira Iris and Barry, because Barry convinces Cecile to pay attention,
It was funny because the way Cecile almost like treated Barry as if he was grieving, and this was his way of grieving. And then to just turn around and just let him into Iris's office. I was like, girl, you're somewhat convinced.
Well, it was one of those things like, I know this is what you're going through, so this is what we got to do to get you through this, whatever. Let's just let you do this, fine. And then she finds like, oh.
She's like, well, that picture's pretty damning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go, and then after that, they flash over to, Iris, Mirror, Iris, David, or Captain Singh and Camilla, setting up like 1,000 mirrors in their apartment.
Yeah. Blood work is back.
Yes. They're going back for him because they need him. Ooh.
Yeah. But then before that, though, we get the confrontation with Mirror Iris at Star Labs. At the same time, real Iris is going into that secret room they found, and she finds out the truth. But then she passes out because shit's all crazy. But in Star Labs, Barry's like, yo, you're not my Iris, and blah, 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 blah. Nash and Cecile are with him. And like, yo, I have a way to test this and prove it. He takes out his little gadget. Like, I'm going to shine this on you. When I shine this on you, it's going to show you just like in this picture here. And I was like,
reflect.
Yeah, she's like, really? And blah, 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 blah.
Gosh sake, Barry, I'm your wife. Can I just say, when this happened, this scene, the second they confronted her, I was like, you're showing your hands too quick. You're showing it. Wait, I was like, literally, the progression it went. I was like, you're showing them, Barry. I understand, but you're showing your hands way too quick.
He really should have just flashed it on as soon as they walked in the room, not said anything. Like it should have just been a walk in and don't tell her what's gonna happen. Don't talk about it. Just do it.
Right. Which after all of that, had happened, because he shines it on her, nothing happens, and then of course, vice versa, it works on him. And I was just like, how, Sway? How?
Because it was sitting on a reflective surface.
and then, so of course,
she takes it.
On,
yeah. Ava does the mirror shit.
She warned Iris. She warned Mirror Iris, because that's why I was saying, like, you're showing your hands too quick. But at that point, there was no way of him, like, after seeing Ava and Mirror Iris interact, I was like, oh, there was no way he could have gotten around that.
You couldn't have done anything about it. Yeah, you're right.
Because
but even still, he still should have just went in and shined the shit on her without even talking. Like it, but
right? Like they did a whole setup for it, and I was just like, that's why I was like, you're showing it way too quick. Because now, if it does work, because I saw it going one of two ways. I saw it being like, he's gonna shine it on her, and then they're gonna lock her in the pipeline, or he's gonna shine it on her and it's not gonna work because of something that Iris did in the mirror world. And the only reason I thought that was because when you were watching, I think last night, and you texted me saying something about I hate Iris or something like that.
Well, I told you I hate Mirror Iris. She was getting on my fucking nerves. I fucking hate her so much.
Right. And I was just like, oh, this probably has something like that. I was like, they're probably gonna do something. But I think when I was watching, I think
I was texting you while she was talking to Cecile in her office when she was going on about, forgot what she was saying, but the thing she was saying to Cecile was pissing me off. It was just like, fuck you. Right.
Because like Mirror Iris has just been like, oh, why I gotta be like, why you question everything? I'm asking you a question. God, just answer the question. Why I gotta answer with a question? Yeah. And so like I like watching them test her and then being like, oh, now Barry, it works on Barry. I was just like, this is some fucking bullshit. I almost expected you to be like, I'm so goddamn irked with this show right now. Mm-hmm. Because I was just like, at first I thought, yes, finally, the story is progressing and finally we will get some progress here. And then his plan backfired and I was just like, like, the Vine, that TikTok of that little boy, like little kid who like throws something and then has like a breakdown like mid floor. I'll have to find it and I'll post it in the group and I'll send it to you once I find it again. But like this little toddler like throws some toy and then like goes like this while screaming. And I was just like, what are you going through? He can't be older than like 2. But that's how I felt.
That just reminds me of that one with the dog with the tennis ball or the toy or whatever on the couch, and the dog drops the toy off the couch and it falls on the floor. He just like,
oh, he gets all dramatic, just like, oh,
yeah,
I gotta get off the couch.
yeah.
That's how I felt, and I was just like,
or like when the boy had the little pedal car thing, the red and yellow one. And then he gets out and it gets stuck in the ice and he just gets out and slams the door and like, piece of shit.
That's how I felt. Just like, turn the TV off. Piece of shit. I hate them all.
Yeah. So they flip the shit. Well, Fake Iris flips the shit on him. And
flip the switch.
Yeah. And Cecile ends up putting the meta cuffs on Barry and they lock him in the pipeline. And Fake Iris is still doing more Fake Iris shit because, whatever, fuck her.
And even Nash was like, I'm sorry, man. And I was like, Nash, you've been here for 5 fucking seconds. You don't know anything yet.
Yeah, he don't. So he just has to go with the evidence put in front of him. So I understood why he did it.
I know. Just kind of just like, damn. Why even bring him into it? Like,
because he needed some backup. So I understood. So Cisco and Dibney, they like kind of like get Caitlin through the next stopgap. They don't fix the problem, but she's like, I need my mama. And we saw later on that Eva did a little mirror shit to switch the device so that it worked on Barry and not on Mirror Iris. The whole Mirror crew goes and gets blood work. They need his blood. And Mirror Camilla just sacrifices herself to get him out. She just all for it. She is down for the cause. She don't know what the cause is, but she down for it.
Right. She's like, our only purpose is to serve Mother. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, wait a second. How are they going to explain where Camilla is to Cisco?
They might not have to, because Iris has said that she's going to go find her and old boy. So
I know.
they get her out, and then they can tell her afterwards.
I guess.
We'll tell him afterwards.
But I mean, like, how long will that take? Because I mean,
we only got 3 episodes left.
This is true. Which is, yeah.
I think.
I don't know.
They're in on episode 19. I forgot what episode this one was.
17, I think.
Hold on,
16 or 17.
Flash was... That's Legends. Flash was 17. So there's 2 more episodes, I think. I'm almost positive it's ended on 19 this season. So I think we have 2 left.
Yep. We have May 5th, which is next week. And then apparently, damn, they don't name any of these episodes Deliver Us from Eva. The next one's called Pay the Piper. And after that is Success is Assured, which I should have saw coming. But either way. The finale, though, still has a TBA for the date, though.
I'm almost positive they ended it on episode 19, and then after that is when Stargirl starts. I think that's what I read before, but I can be wrong.
It is ending on 19, but what I'm saying is there's no date right now for the finale. But
because I think Stargirl's getting their slot though, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay. But
so yeah, Mirror Camilla just sacrifices himself. They get his blood. Then he just goes back in because he's like, I'm just not getting out of here, but you take this blood, go. And they take the blood. I
feel like he was kind of being like, I'll be back on my own terms.
Yeah, he's over it all. He's just like, I do whatever. It's cool.
I tried my shit and y'all shut me down, so it's like whatever.
Mm-hmm. But then Cecile, what?
I was gonna say Ramsey, because there was something I didn't like. I mean, it was something that we did notice a lot or at least I did, with Mirror Iris, was that she seemed like, all episode, it seems like she was trying to play regular Iris, but it felt like she was trying harder than usual, as in like there's some other inner conflict with her going on, which we do end up seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ramsey also points it out. Because there's a couple of times you see Mirror Iris where she kind of is like, yeah, I'm here. Because even Eva says it. She's like, you seem distracted. Like what the fuck's going on? Like, do what I made you to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of almost like, a robot developing a consciousness. Or Siri gaining a consciousness, or Alexa. Either way. Scary. And Ramsey points it out. He's like, you have some shred of will. And how do I know you're not going to backstab me? And I was like, whatever. Because, yeah, it was just funny.
Mm-hmm. So Cecile lets Barry out because she's just like, yo, I know you're Barry. I know she's fake. I'm going to need you to just go do some shit about this because
something didn't feel right. And I wonder what Cecile felt when all that was going on. And I'm starting to think that maybe she started feeling like whatever feeling Mirror Iris was having, or maybe she felt Mirror Iris developing genuine feelings. Because something, I don't know. I'm just thinking like, or maybe she was trying, maybe in her head she was, and then, but to Cecile, it just translates as weird because she's not really a human. If that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
So like when, after Barry was put in the pipeline and then like they were dispersing to do different tasks and stuff like that, And Cecile said to, like, Iris said to Cecile, like, what's up? Because she saw Cecile doing her face. Cecile said, something just doesn't feel right. But it felt like she was sensing something probably coming from Mirror Iris, because at this point, Mirror Iris has already been like kind of weird all episode. And I felt like, so like the way I was thinking of it, I was like, I don't know if Mirror Iris has actual feelings. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
yeah, she does, because Cecile was feeling them earlier in the office.
But I feel like she feels what, because remember, they say it later on, like, Mirror Iris feels what Eva feels.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't think Iris knows what those things are. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, obviously she knows feelings, but she doesn't really understand what, like, she know, like, I don't know. It's weird to explain, because, like, in the sense of, like, I don't know what, I want to know what Cecile was sensing that doesn't feel right. Besides the fact that Barry was locked up, because it's not right.
She probably like, I feel like it was one of those things, like she felt Iris's feelings, but she's been around her enough that she knows that doesn't feel like Iris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't until like that moment that she started sensing it, because earlier she didn't seem as.
But I don't think it was that she didn't sense it. I think it was until then that she didn't put it all together. I think she sensed it before too, but it was more of just a. But she was like,
I feel like it was weird that nigga asked her to tell her what she felt.
Yeah, she was just like, wait a minute, let me.
You don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Mirror Iris was trying to figure things out that would make her seem like real Iris, but she doesn't know how to do those things fully. That's what I was trying to get across, because she can really, like, essentially she's like a reflection of Iris, but she's connected to Eva. And so, like, you know, she, like, that's how I was feeling. Because I was just like, that's why I kind of went back and forth with Cecile too. I was like, you didn't sense it then, but now you sense something is wrong. And that's why I was kind of just like, I don't understand. That's where I was kind of like getting like, this is weird, or I'm a little off put by it. By like, I wanted to know what Cecile was sensing, to be like, you know, even though Barry did have the reflection thing, I still believe this is Barry, you know, like somewhere in between them, in between the machine not working to, you know, them all like scattering out, Cecile was like, something's not right here. And I want to know what really was it that did it? Like, what did she feel or sense that gave it to her? But probably what you said.
Okay. So then Mirror Iris, she's about to use the blood, and then, you know, Barry shows up because Cecile let him out.
Barry walked in the house and she was just talking to him like, yeah, we're going to do all this shit. He was like, what?
And then she just attacks. She goes all T-1000 arms on her, the little blades on her arms and shit. It wasn't liquid metal, but it was mirror shit. But it was, you know, the T-1000. Have you seen Terminator 2?
No, but I saw the most recent Terminator.
No, that doesn't mean anything. I said Terminator 2. That's where the T-1000 was. So if you haven't, then you don't get that reference. So don't worry about it. But
it was funny because Barry looked like he was scared to hit her. I was like, nigga, you better hit her. That is not Iris.
Yeah.
Or human at that. You better fucking hit her. I wanted to see him cold sock her.
However, we find something out in this episode. Barry and Iris have a mirror on the ceiling.
I feel like they put that there.
Who is they?
The reflections.
No. Barry and Iris have a mirror on the ceiling, Mara. Barry and Iris have a mirror on the ceiling.
Randomly over the floor?
Who knows? Who said it's the only place they got a mirror on the ceiling?
I mean, like,
they put a mirror on the ceiling everywhere they fuck.
I guess. I just kind of feel like the timing of them all, like the reflections also setting up other mirrors, I feel like that was kind of like a strategic thing to do.
So you don't think Barry and Iris have a mirror on the ceiling?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying they don't. I feel like that specific one was put there by them because it was that's such a gaudy ass mirror to put on the ceiling. You put like a flat mirror on the ceiling. You don't put a decorative mirror on the ceiling because if it falls, that will kill someone. I mean, so will a regular flat mirror, but
why would they put a gaudy one up there if it's purely functional?
How do we know that?
How do we know what?
How do you know it's fully functional?
I said that it's purely functional because it's for them to use for their purposes.
Purely functional. But
You said the mirror people put it up there for their use, then that would mean it was purely functional, not decorative. So why would it be gaudy if they just did it for themselves for them to use?
That's a gaudy looking mirror.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, why would the mirror people bother to do that if it was there for functional purposes?
They had all different kinds of random mirrors. They had standing ones. They had wall mirrors on the floor.
None of them were gaudy, except for this one.
I didn't say that they were all gaudy, but I'm saying
But this was the only one that was.
No, some of them they're all extra ass mirrors. Like this one, that's just not the type of mirror you put on a ceiling.
You're not making sense, Mara.
That's not the kind of mirror you put on the ceiling. Not one that's all in a fancy 3D ass frame. You put one that will bolster it up against the ceiling. That's what it wasn't. That's all I'm saying. That's a decorative mirror, not I'm going to put this above somewhere I want to fuck, because the only thing I'm thinking about at that point is if that frame fell, that would definitely brain the hell out of one of us.
But here's the thing, though. If they're using it for their purposes, why would they bother making it decorative?
All of them were decorative is what I'm saying. I thought they were all decorative.
They were all just plain mirrors.
Either way, if you're not going to put the thin, whatever, what is it? Thin, this mirror. They're not putting that mirror on the ceiling either. That doesn't make sense. Either way, I think they were just putting mirrors in places. I'm not saying there was any purpose to it. That's why I don't think it was Barry and Iris. I feel like they would get a practical mirror that would go on the ceiling. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm saying, but so would the mirror people. That argument doesn't matter.
What? No, they wouldn't. They didn't get any other practical mirrors. They didn't use the mirrors in any other practical way. That's what I'm saying. They had wall mirrors on the floor. That's what I'm saying. They had all different kinds of random mirrors. All I'm saying is that mirrors that have the 3D border around them that stick out like a petal or whatever, or a shell, don't go on ceilings. They just don't.
What I'm telling you is your argument that they wouldn't use that doesn't make sense. That's all. But anyway, move on.
Who, Barry and Iris or the mirror people?
The mirror people, but move on. I'm not having this argument with you. I'm not having this argument with you anymore.
That wasn't my point to begin with.
But that was the argument you used.
No, it wasn't. My argument was for Barry and Iris.
Okay, but you're saying Barry and Iris wouldn't put that up there, but the mirror people would.
Because they don't make any sense regardless. They're not real people with not their own thoughts.
Okay, Mara. Like I said, I'm moving on. I'm not having this argument with you.
Oh my God.
So,
that they're not going to use practical.
Why are you still doing this? Real Iris causes some disruption between Eva and Mirror Iris because she starts fucking with her head. And this causes Mirror Iris to fall apart because she's just all like, I'm connected to her. I am her. She is me. I can't deal with this. She starts falling apart. Yeah, and then Eva just comes through the mirror after that because Mirror Iris is dead and she breaks apart in Barry's arms and shit. And yeah. I still don't know why Eva is scratching her arm like a crackhead. But she's been doing it all the time and I don't understand it. Barry's down, he's out, and she just leaves him there. Barry wakes up and he's talking to the mirror. Him and Iris have this special moment when they're touching the mirror. They're not actually talking to each other because they can't hear each other. And they still have this little tender moment though, because they feel like the other person might be able to hear them, but they can't. Yeah, and that's the end of the episode. That was the Flash. Is there anything else with Flash you want to talk about before we move on? Yes? No? Maybe so?
No.
All right. So, that's going to be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of tomorrow. After Mara tells me who's winning this week.
No one's winning.
Really?
Maybe Eva's winning.
Who's losing?
Everyone.
That's really what you're going to do right now?
Who's losing? I don't know who's losing. I don't think anyone's losing.
So you don't think anyone's losing?
Who's losing?
A lot of people are
Besides
having a
Iris.
very bad week, Mara.
I mean, Iris has had a bad weeks. That's fine.
So you saying Iris?
I think Iris is losing because she's still in the mirror.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Don't forget, you can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World. Let's see what else. You can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
As per usual, on Instagram and Twitter at Mard Shark. That's MARADASHARK.
Cool. Also, just remember, if you're a wrestling fan, we also have Smacking It Raw. So you should go there and check that episode out this week. Also, there's a Facebook that goes along with that. That is facebook.com/group/Smacking It Raw. Did I mention our Facebook group?
No.
What's our Facebook group?
Facebook.com/groups/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow.
Also, don't forget to go to our Patreon if you want some of our extra shit. Get some cool shit early, get some behind the scenes content, all that kind of stuff. Each tier, if you don't know how Patreon works, check it out. You'll see. Also buy some merch. We got some cool shirts. Check it out. We appreciate your support. We love it. I think that'll be it. We'll catch you all.
Us.
Yeah. Do that. Tag us in it. Take a picture. All that shit. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Yeah. We'll catch you all next week. Everything that's still coming on happens next week. Supergirl's back this weekend.
Woo!
So then we'll have Supergirl, Batwoman, Flash, and Legends. Yeah. So we'll catch you all next week. Until then, we out.
Laters.